welcome to It's All Geek to Me, the pop culture chat show where geeks talk to other geeks about geek-related nonsense. With me, we've got a couple of regular geeks with them. I'm going to bring them straight out. We've got, first of all, it's your friend of mine. It's Nathan Webb. Here he is.
Yo, OG Geek. I'm back. Back once again, like the Renegade Master or something. How's it going?
I'm good. Let's bring out other geeks. Let's bring out other geeks straight out. We don't mess about on this show. It's our good friend, Natalie Smeaton.
Hello, hello.
Smeag.
How's it going, Webbs?
It's all better for seeing your beautiful sunshiny face.
I love you so much.
Change.
I got stuck with that Lummy for like weeks.
I'm sorry, mate.
To
be honest, the light's falling over. To be honest, I've had a massive piece of work to do at work, like a dissertation, and it sucked all the joy out of my world for weeks and weeks on end. And although I'm not finished, I don't care anymore. I'm kidding. No, I do care. I'm at a point where I can relax about it a bit more now instead of punishing myself every night. So yeah, I'm back.
Yay, Webb is back.
I am. Tell you, Martin,
if you are watching on YouTube, Facebook, for some reason Twitch isn't working tonight. I'm trying to go live and it's saying it can't do it. I don't know what's wrong with it.
Stupid Twitch.
Yeah.
What a massive.
There's probably too many gamers on there. But we are live. We're live on
Twitch
Facebook and YouTube. So
fire.
If you want to join in on the show, leave a comment as always, and we'll chat. Let's get.
Me and Chris were breaking the rules when you and Gittins went here. We were having people on. We were doing.
We didn't care. We just. Everybody were on.
Well, you didn't eat after midnight, did you?
No.
We didn't, but we did get Lummy wet at one point.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a whole other thing.
Oh dear. Do you want to hear a little story before we get started?
I do.
Yeah.
So last night I'm sitting in the back room playing a bit of PlayStation, minding my own business. About 11 o'clock, and the door opens and it's Joanna, my partner. I'm thinking, what the hell? Maybe she can't sleep. She comes in, she said, I've heard a strange noise in the bedroom.
Oh, shut up.
I went, what are you telling me for? I don't want to. I'm absolutely fine in here. So she says, will you come and listen and see if you can see anything? We're at the window. I'm like, what? I mean, we live on the 4th story of a pretty big old house, right? So there's no chance there was a slender man or something, outside. So I go in there and I tentatively switch the light on, and you've got that dad head on, so I pick something up in case I need to hit something. Picks up an object up, and I'm walking around like that, and I go over to the bedroom curtains and I open them up, and there's a bit of condensation on the inside of the window because we live in an old house, right? We're not posh, and I look at the outside and I'm thinking, that looks a bit weird. There were like little finger marks on the outside of the window, right?
Shut up.
And it sounded like something was scratching at the window. So I'm like, you know what? A few years ago, we had a housemate. I don't know if you remember her, Lummy, a girl called Hannah. And one day she came back from work and
she died mysteriously 50 years ago.
No, even weirder than that. No. She came back from work one day and there was a squirrel in a bedroom. It got in through the window and it was freaking out, running all over the place, really scared, so she shut the door again, left it, and it went out on its own. So I know they can get up the side of the building and stuff. So I'm saying to Joe, I think it were a squirrel, and he must have gone on the roof and then gone into the gutter and been like, well, I don't know how to get down. And I'm like, let me in. But yeah, there were these creepy little scratch marks on the window. But I got really scientific, so I wiped the condensation because I'm thinking, right, if a mark's on the inside of a glass, that would be terrifying. If a little squirrel's inside your room trying to get out, the finger marks would be on the inside of the glass. So I got all scientific and I rubbed the condensation off and I breathed on it like that, made it steamy, and you could see the marks were still there, so they were on the outside of the glass. But yeah, she nearly got murdered by a gang of squirrels in a sleep.
Look at you with you going full Egon Spengler and getting
I know, I felt so smart.
Yeah,
I really did. I nearly just I was so impressed with it. And then I felt like, right, that's that sorted. Okay, everybody's all right now. Everybody can crack on and go to sleep. So yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed there wasn't a ghost at the end of it. I'm not gonna lie.
Might have been a ghost squirrel. Who knows? I don't understand the law.
Martin, is Rich still playing the back end of the donkey this week?
No, he's graduated to front end.
Yeah, he did such a good job as the ass end.
Yes,
Traded him.
had a promotion. Front end got COVID and had to cancel. So yeah, understudy.
Mission Impossible squirrel.
Yeah, man. I mean, she was really freaked out, bless her. But I saved the day.
Well done, Webb.
Oh, you're so manly.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Oh.
guys.
I fancy saving the day like that. Should we do a bit of news?
Let's do some news. Enough about squirrels.
That I found, but not much. I don't know if we've talked about some of this stuff already. But first news, big one for me. This Quantum Leap. They're doing
yes, I've heard a reboot is on the way.
Here we go. The wait for Quantum Leap's long anticipated return to our television screens might finally be open. US broadcast NBC has handed out a pilot order for the widely adored 90s science fiction series, which starred Scott Bakula as Dr. Samuel Beckett and Rear Admiral Upper Calavici, sorry, as Dean Stockwell should know that. Should know. Potential reboot, which will be set in modern day, follows the life of the time-traveling Doctor 30 years since he stepped into the Quantum Leap Accelerator and disappeared. Now, with a fresh-faced team of scientists being called to restart the project in the hopes of understanding the mysteries behind the machine and the man who created it. The main man himself will finally make his return.
Will he ever get home at the end of this one?
Of course, he's gonna.
Is it Bakula coming back?
Yeah.
Is it Bakula?
Sounds like it, yeah.
Sounds awesome.
I can't wait.
That sounds awesome. Yeah. I think wouldn't they if they didn't put him in it?
Yeah, watch your mic, Webb, because it's going all over the place. Just
I've got a new setup. I don't understand what's going on.
Not too much.
I'm not. I'm too excited. Sorry.
Big T's here.
Got a nut.
Hey, Big T, how you doing?
Oh, you all right?
Nathan, I think it's when you put your head down, it just goes a bit funny. That's it.
Yeah, yes.
I think when you get close to your to the mic.
Okay, I'll try and keep my head perfectly still for 2 hours.
How I feel about reviewing going on. Big part of my life, without Dean Stockwell, he's gone.
Yeah, man, but
if you had to reboot it, what would you do? I mean, actually, before we talk about that, Dean Stockwell, the character though in the series, didn't he? He actually was erased out of the continuity anyway because he let back. Do you remember? He let back and told his wife that he was coming home from the war. So he'd get with her and he wouldn't be involved in Quantum Leap anyway. So they've kind of done themselves a favour with the story anyway. So he wouldn't necessarily have to be in it anyway.
So it's a good thing he died, is that what you're saying?
Well, no, it's a good thing they did that with the story. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Right. What would I like to see? I mean, I would like to see more of the same, but we've had 30, 40 years more history since then, haven't we? So apply some of the things that have happened in the past 30 years. I guess you've got all kinds of different stories and opportunities you could do. But what I want to see is him get home, man.
I think they can afford to be a bit darker with this one because he's been jumping from body to body for the last 30 years, are we assuming? Like he's just been trapped in this endless cycle of putting everybody else's mistakes right. I think he's going to be not in a great place, to be honest.
Yeah, you could actually turn him evil. In the time that's passed, he's actually had enough of being a good guy and it's not working anyway, and he's putting all this work in and not getting anywhere, so he just thinks, sod it, I'm going to go to different timelines and kill everybody.
What about this? What if he didn't have his guide with him, right? Because I don't know what happened. Did they send another guide out or something? Or, you know what I mean? It just says he never returned home, didn't it? So he's obviously kept leaping. So what if in that time he's not been able to solve what he's meant to be doing? You know what I mean? He's made things actually worse and worse because he hasn't had anybody telling him what needs doing, basically.
Well, to be honest with you, since Endgame came out and straightened out all this time-traveling movies business and sort of said, well, Back to the Future can't happen because you'd unmake everything if you did it that way. Maybe that's part of the problem. Quantum Leap is pre all of that, time travel theory, isn't it? It's just going with what...
as well, he only leaps, doesn't he, if he solves the thing.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time since I've seen it, but for some reason the first episode and the very last episode stick out quite well. So I remember him never getting home. Yeah. But I mean,
everybody felt cheated by it, didn't they, when he didn't?
I don't know what I'd do with the show, but I'm wondering if maybe I could think of somebody that I'd like to see Sam jump into. Do you know what I mean? And all the things in that period of 30 years. Like maybe he jumped into Donald Trump and tried to fix politics. I don't know.
Maybe he was evil by that point, and that's why this all happened.
And maybe we'll do something like that. There's all. I think fifth season they started jumping into more famous people as well. So they didn't do that that often, did they? You know.
Did he jump into? He jumped into Lee Harvey Oswald at one point, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Did he jump into Martin Luther King, or am I making that up?
No, you're making that up.
Okay,
I
want to see him jump into Martin Luther King then. Sod it.
Didn't he do? It was a Secret Service guy were looking after Marilyn Monroe in one of them, I think.
Yeah. That's
things like that. You know, we're always.
Yeah, and it was back in the time where it was really shocking to see somebody in drag at the end. So when you saw him in the mirror and it turns out he's a girl, ooh, you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. There's lots of potential for if it's famous people or infamous people that he's jumping into, it could be really good.
It's taken this long to do it, to be honest, because the
remake.
I mean the same guy who does Quantum Leap did the reboot of Magnum PI, and apparently that's really popular. And you think you chose Magnum PI over Quantum Leap in the first place?
Maybe he was just too scared to touch it because it's so good. Like, there's a lot of responsibility, isn't there, coming back into a program like this? And so many people love it, and so many people have took them through their childhood or their teenage years. Like, what a big respect! It's like trying to remake Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's
but look at the shows that you've had since Quantum Leap that have developed on the potential for story, and these are happening in TV shows. So massive things like Lost and Game of Thrones and all this Marvel stuff we're seeing at the minute. The potential, if you applied the modern way a show is written to Quantum Leap, I reckon you find it very, very interesting, really different. If you jumped into me, it'd be fucking boring. It must be said. Do you know what I mean?
You don't know.
Sorry, Martin, I didn't see that, but yeah, Trump, same thing, yeah.
Man.
I would like to see him jump into more historical features. Someone like George Washington, maybe someone from the Crusade. Well, that was the thing with Quantum Leap, though. He could only jump in his own lifetime, couldn't he? So when he was born to when he died, it's the only. There was one episode where he jumped back further, but it was like an anomaly, you know.
Into a caveman.
No, he jumped back into
a dinosaur.
Civil War.
Okay.
And there was that other episode where they swapped places, him and Al as well.
So, since it's a time travel show, and the purpose of the show is for him to go back and fix or twist certain events, right? Surely, the more you do that, the messier it gets.
Yeah.
And the best way to do it is to start the furthest back in time that you can go, and then work your way forward, because you're going to have to see what the implications of what you did the first time you leaped. What happens from there on? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that old time travel question about if we're going to travel back in time, let's go back and kill Hitler, and the theory that would do more damage than Hitler actually did to the world. You know. Yeah, I mean, it's a messy one. I wouldn't touch time travel story with a fucking barge pole. It's just too complicated. But I'm happy to watch them do it, you know. And I'd love to see Sam back.
Sam,
that guy never ages, man.
No.
Yeah. And it's got the theme tune as well. Can you imagine us putting it on for the first time and seeing that?
Martin, I did. Yeah, did I watch the movie as well as the TV series? Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that original film with what was the lady that called it? Hilary Swank? One of the Hillarys.
I want the Swank. Let me have a look.
Krista Swanson won it or something.
Kirsten Swanson. Yeah, something like that. Swinson.
Let me find out.
Tons and tons of words coming out of my mouth.
Ron Swanson.
Yeah.
It was Christy Swanson. Christy Swanson.
We're nowhere near, really. Ron Swanson is in Pam and Tommy, which has just appeared on Disney, which is I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
really good. And there's this theory there that because they got hurt by the process, that they're not happy with being in this story. They didn't want it told, but they've done a lovely justice with Pam and Tommy. They're playing them really well. It's not an insult to them. It's sort of give it a watch, guys. See what you think.
It's
Lots
on my
of
list.
famous people in it. It's good.
What about this casting? Them, I don't think we've talked about this either. Maybe we did not. I'm not sure, but this little doozy.
Oh, we mentioned it, but we didn't talk about it properly.
I mean, come on. Come on. Although I'm saying that, but in Pam and Tommy, there's a lady called Lily
James.
Lily James,
yeah, playing Pamela Anderson. She looks so much like Pamela Anderson that she was on Graham Norton or something the other night, and I saw a real face. First of all, she's British. She's properly pasty white. You know, her eyebrows are relatively. It looks absolutely nothing like her. The makeup job they've done.
Have you not seen Yesterday? She was in that, wasn't she?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Mamma Mia 2.
Yeah.
Mamma Mia 2. Is there a 2?
She played a young Meryl Streep.
Oh.
But she usually plays these kind of prim and proper roles, doesn't she? Straight roles, so it was a bit of a weird one. But yeah, I thought she looked good on.
She's done a really, really good impression of her as well. Right, sounds like you really forget. And Tommy Lee, you forget that either of them are actors.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But
yeah, it's a crazy tale. It's a crazy tale. It's interesting. Cinderella as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first movie I think it was a big break, wasn't it? Webby Squirrel. That could become this whole like Pixar animation episode where it's Webby against the squirrel, I reckon.
I mean, I can only assume it's down to the strength of my nuts. Wafting through the window. But that's a weird one. I think it's a fucking weird one, Lummy. I think it's a
it is Weird Al, isn't it? Like,
it is Weird Al, but
yeah, but
I'm gonna watch it.
I'll probably watch it, man. I like Weird Al. I'm nothing really against the Harry Potter guy, but he's way shorter and way different. I'm not sure if he can sing. I hope they don't dub his voice. My theory is, if you're going to play a singer, I want you to do. I don't think Rami Malek deserved the Oscar for Bohemian Rhapsody because I learned that he didn't sing it.
So I thought he did.
No, he didn't. They got that French guy who's got the closest. Sorry, Canadian guy who's.
Oh, where Adam Lambert?
No, he's
the guy who did the Elton John one song, though, didn't he? He sang all the songs.
Yeah,
there you go. Exactly. Perfect example. Taron Egerton. Yeah, man. And we just saw Sing 2 the other week. What a movie, man. Amazing. We loved it. We took the kid to see it, and all three of us had massive smiles on our face all the way through.
Sounds good, but was it a Peter Rabbit too?
It was better because the first thing is the run of songs this movie starts with jumps from one awesome song to another, and they're right in my among songs it starts with Let's Go Crazy by Prince. And then there's a bloody David Bowie, I think Starman's in there. There's just like song after song after song. It was really, really cool. But it was funny as well, man. It was good.
Just coming back to Queen, apparently it was a mix of Rami Malek and somebody called Mark Martell who sang the
Mark
vocals.
Martell, if you put his voice alongside Freddie Mercury's track, he has the closest sounding voice, apparently, to Freddie Mercury than anybody else that's been tested in the world for it. So he does it. He's got videos on YouTube instructing people how to sing like Freddie Mercury.
And we're going to talk about Boba Fett later on, or Boba
Fett. Man. Boba.
We're going to do some predictions for next week as well. We'll see what everybody thinks, but we'll do that in a bit. Gary's here. Hello, Gary. You all right?
Hey, Gary. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, Mark Martell. See, yeah. Some of the some of it, but I think all of it. I'm just saying that. I think it's all of it. But so my only problem with Will Ferrell, Weird Al.
What have you got a problem with Will Ferrell for?
My only problem with Will Ferrell, Weird Al, whatever the hell he's called, that guy, is if he's not singing, then it's lazy. I just think anybody can sing a Weird Al song.
I don't know why he don't play him himself.
Like Howard Stern did.
Yeah. Private Parts.
Yeah. I mean, Howard Stern was all right in that movie, wasn't he? But what an ego trip. Nobody else could play me except me.
Yeah, I mean, they were right. You know. Casting stuff. What's his face? Jeffrey Rush is playing Groucho Marx.
No, I like Jeffrey Rush.
Yeah,
I would have thought he were. I think he's a great actor, but I would have thought he were a little old for that.
Well, he's playing him when he's a bit older, I think. You know.
I don't know how old he was when he died. Yeah. All right, fair enough. Yeah, that sounds interesting. I like Groucho Marx.
Yeah,
so I like that. Yeah.
And then last bit of news I've got is Lord of the Rings TV show teaser trailer confirmed to release on Sunday.
Oh, now that's a little bit exciting and has given me tingly bells.
Down boy.
Is it going to? Everybody's just going to compare that either to the Peter Jackson epic. I mean, can't win.
Talk about setting yourself up for failure. I'm skeptical to say the least, but I think the trailer will give us some indication. It might feel like we're in the right realm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're in the zone, Middle Earth times.
It might. So
if you could be anybody, Webby, if you could be anybody in Lord of the Rings, who would you be?
Aragorn, man.
Would it be Aragorn straight away?
Yeah, the strong, silent warrior who don't want to be king. No.
Arrogant.
That's how they should hire all politicians, by the way. They should only pick the ones who don't want to be politicians. If you want to be a politician, there's something wrong with you. So, yeah,
hey,
I think that's how we should pick
a political
pick kings as well.
We avoid all that on here.
He's right, though. You're right. You're right.
Mark's brother's film, I think it's just about Groucho, Martin. Yeah.
You
know.
Who calls a kid Groucho? Honestly, just mean.
So that's the news. That's it for the news.
I enjoyed the news. Thank you.
Now I've missed a couple of weeks, guys, and I'm sorry, but did we acknowledge the legendary Barry Cryer? Did you talk about him?
We weren't here last week, and he died.
Oh
he
yeah,
died in that week. So no,
I just thought it worth an honourable mention. The landscape of British comedy would be vastly different without his input into comedy.
100%.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
He wrote on everything, didn't he? Everything you can think of, pretty much. You know.
Oh yeah, he's a good joke writer.
Yeah,
yeah, he really. That one that's been doing the rounds since he died. I don't know if you guys have heard it. The one about the parrot. You heard that one?
No.
Lady goes into the pet shop and she goes, "I'm looking for a bird of some kind." The gentleman behind the counter says, "Look, I've only got a parrot. I've only got one in at the minute. And before you even consider it, you should know that it came from a brothel." So she goes, "Well, okay, well, I'll try it. I'll take it on for a few days, and if it doesn't work out, would it be okay if I brought it back?" He said, "No problem. I understand." So she takes the parrot home, puts the cage on the kitchen table, and takes off the cover. Parrot looks around and goes, "New house, nice." Kids come home from school. He looks around, new house, new kids, nice. Husband comes home from work. He goes, "All right, Keith." Oh dear, yeah, I like that sort of thing. It's really funny. But yeah, Barry Cryer, genius. Yeah, I saw that. It was pretty funny.
I didn't see that. That's brilliant.
Yeah, apparently Joe Rogan went and did a bit of a press conference last Sunday and apologised to Neil Young.
Right.
He said, "Look, I know how controversial I can be, and I know that not everybody's cup of tea." And it was really weird because at the end of it, it was sort of like, "I still like you, Neil Young. You don't have to like me, but I'll still like you." And you're just like, "What? Yeah,
Stop it.
Yeah, a bit cringy. And Joni Mitchell too. Two of the old hippies are like, "No, you're not having our music anymore, man, if you're going to be like that." And nobody cared. Just well kept the turning. Yeah. Joe Rogan hit another 1 billion streams that day. It's just crazy.
Speaking of comedy stuff as well, Jimmy Carr got in a bit of trouble, didn't he, this week for that?
Oh my lord! Did you see that joke though?
Yeah.
It's no wonder he got himself in trouble.
Well, I'm sorry, but that whole 10-minute section that joke falls into is horrendous. Like and he actually says during it, "Let's see how far we can go. I'm going to tell another one this is worse. I'm going to tell another one this is worse," and it culminates in that awful joke.
I mean, what do you guys think about this? Because at the end of the day, he's a shock comedian anyway, and that's his stick. Now, I always think if you don't like that stuff, it's like Gervais, isn't it? If you don't like it, don't go see him because you know exactly. These people go and they go,
"Man, Dave, you just keep."
What do you think you were going to see? The show itself is called "His Dark Materials," isn't it? So you think, what are you going to?
And he does say right at the beginning he wants to try get himself cancelled. And in the same show,
this is the thing that's pissing me off about it now is that language, Nat, because Ricky Gervais has said the same thing. Yeah. He's got a new special about to drop in Netflix. He says he hopes to be cancelled by the end of it. So he couldn't give a fuck. I mean, fair enough. He says, "I couldn't give a fuck what you think. I did it anyway. I don't care." And I respect that. I do. But also, I think it's a bit weak and a bit childish and a bit, you know what I mean? Like,
I think
just
it's tricky though, isn't it? Because in the same show, Jimmy Carr picked on the anti-vaxxer, and no matter what your views are, I am very much pro-vaccine. no matter what your views are, everybody celebrated the fact that he picked on the anti-vaxxer and was very rude to them, and everyone was like, ah ha ha ha, lol. So it's almost like a game of two halves, isn't it? What he said was horrendous, but it's almost like people are picking and choosing. Like, do you know what I mean?
It's got to be one or the other, right? You can't have it both. You know, I've always thought you can't have it both ways. You can't have it like, oh, we're offended about this, so cancel that. But I also think this about that. So
yeah, he went viral for both things. He went viral for the anti-vax joke as well.
It's really
for the other reason.
Yeah, it's a weird time. I mean, the only person I think's got a really good grasp on it, depend where you stand on whether you're divided by this guy or not, is Dave Chappelle. Because Dave Chappelle actually justified everything he said, and it wasn't perfectly cool. It wasn't anti-trans, actually. The jokes that offended me in his set were nothing to do with trans. Now, I'm not a trans person, so it's unlikely that I'm going to get it right anyway. But what he said by the end of it was, if you're going to walk out 5 minutes into a show, then you deserve what's coming to you. If you're going to sit around and have a discussion with me, I'm up for talking. And he said, if you and I am not anti-trans, he said, if you go back through the last specials, I can pinpoint exactly what you mean about anti-trans, and I can explain every joke, and that's not me. And he's the only person that sort of tried to tread that line between, look, I'm going to say it anyway. I can apologize if you want, but I'm not going to mean it. And if you just keep going on about it, I'm just going to stop doing comedy. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
They're on about passing laws through as well, aren't they, now, to like prosecute for what people have said and things. I mean, this is where it starts to,
this is where you start to get into like the freedom of speech. It's very grey area because, like, what Jimmy Carr said was extremely offensive, but you can't stop him from saying it.
Is it funny? Are we getting to a point where jokes are so deliberately offensive that you can't even see the comedy in them? Because the point is, if you read that joke, right, and you're on your own in a room, and you read that joke and you giggle at that punchline, or you smirk at that punchline, or you see where he's coming from, and you think, "Ooh, that's a bit below the belt." Like, I don't know.
I just don't see where it's. I mean, if you go down that route of being able to prosecute people for doing jokes and things, I mean, you know, and doing jail time and stuff, or for what they say on Twitter, where do you stop with that? Because it's a real slippery slope, and you'll end up, people won't be able to say anything. It'll be like demolition.
And people will still get famous because they will be the people that went against the grain and said whatever the fuck they want. You're not going to censor me, freedom of speech and all that. Now, I'm one of these people. Yeah. I'm one of these people that fully believe we need comedians on the edge. We need comedians to be able to say whatever they want. But we're living in an age where if you're going to a Ricky Gervais show expecting him to tell jokes about marshmallows and unicorns, then you're probably in the wrong show. You know what you're getting into. Now, I'm not saying that makes it right or wrong. I don't know. I am incredibly guilty of sitting on the fence a lot of the minute because I know what I find funny and what I find acceptable. And I know certain jokes that will offend people that I still think are funny because regardless of, I'm a fence sitter, so it's difficult. I don't want to offend anyone, but I also think that finding a truly awesome comedian that's perfectly clean and that you still want to pay to go see is difficult.
I can think of two off the top of my head, and that's it. Out of the hundreds, go see Bill Bailey already is hard. You're going to get a really funny.
Oh, I've got another one for you.
Completely neutral show.
I've got another one for you. Harry Hill.
Oh, Harry Hill, yeah.
Harry Hill, he don't even swear in his stuff, you know what I mean? And he was one of the funniest comedians I've ever seen.
In those shows that people would still be able to find offence from, to be honest. You know, whether it's a proper summer or probably say, I don't like the fat Harry Hill, I ain't got any hair, you know, it's an attack on my baldness or something. Like, what? You know,
I watched that Jimmy Carr show weeks and weeks before the controversy broke, at least 3 weeks ago. Because of the anti-vax thing that had gone viral. And that whole section of about 10 minutes, he does tell awful joke, which is very offensive, after awful joke, and nobody is left alone. They've chosen this particular joke, but if I'm absolutely honest, that whole 5 to 10 minutes run up to that joke, any of those jokes could have been something that they could have taken to the cleaners.
By that logic, right? It just happens to be that joke that's caught the spotlight, right?
Yeah.
But any one of those jokes could have been the one that offended you. So why is your point about what you're offended by not as strong as the final joke that people are? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like, because he's just typical Jimmy Carr. He's very like, he makes jokes about people's body shape and size, and like it, it's just Jimmy. It just is what he is. I watched that show assuming I was going to get offended at some point because that's what he does, and I got to the end of it, and the joke that they're all talking about, I was a bit like, oh, did he just say that? OMG, that type of reaction, but because nobody expects it. Like it's like the very line. It gets to the point where he says, "If I don't get cancelled after this, I don't know what else to say." And then he says it.
But that's an old argument, and that's becoming really commonplace. That argument. I
Yeah.
didn't watch it because I don't particularly find him funny at all. I've never have done. I've not because he's too cutting edge for me. Because he's not funny. He sells a loads of really cheap one-liner jokes, and occasionally something funny. I prefer him more as a presenter than I do as a comedian. And I've always felt that way about him. And he's just not a natural comedian. Whereas people like Billy Connolly or Ricky Gervais, maybe not even Ricky Gervais, Billy Connolly is pretty much the only person I can think of that was literally born funny and couldn't help but be funny. And when you watch his gigs, he don't even tell a joke and he's still funny. You know what I mean? Some people
Billy
are just
Connolly's
born with
been in
it.
trouble for stuff before, though, hasn't he, as well? You know, they all have, really. You know, I mean, I can't remember what routine it was, but people like Jim Davis have been locked up.
Yeah.
Why go? Yeah, exactly.
Dennis Leary stole his act off Bill Hicks, mate. But I get where you're coming from.
But that's such a good point, Martin. Like, everybody knows what to expect when they go see a comedian like Jimmy Carr, so don't go.
I guess maybe the thing, the answer to that is, I mean, if there's these super offensive comedians, I mean, if that's in the kind of thing, maybe they shouldn't be putting them on Netflix and stuff.
No,
maybe it should
maybe
be.
that's not the problem. Maybe the problem is these fuckers are being sniped by people waiting to be offended. Oh, there's a new Jimmy Carr. He's probably going to. I'm going to watch it.
Because
it's not like they accidentally watched 45 minutes of a Jimmy Carr show and then got offended. They didn't fall into it.
But what I mean is,
they made a choice to put it on.
There's always a way not to watch this stuff, isn't there? It's on Netflix there. But what I'm saying is, when people go see a live comedian, you pay quite a lot of money to go see that. Now, you're not going to go see somebody you think's awful or unoffensive, where you can flick Netflix on, I guess, and watch it because you've paid a subscription. Maybe.
Okay. I think the difference for me between Jimmy Carr and people like Ricky Gervais is Ricky Gervais really does genuinely have the ability to make me laugh without being a dick. Yeah, he doesn't have to be. He does it every so often. Like, he'll make a joke about being super rich, so he can't relate to us normal people anymore. You know what I mean? And I kind of get it. It's just, if you tell a wind-up merchant that they're winding you up, they're not going to stop. They're just going to do it more. It's his fucking bread and butter. So I don't know, man. Yeah, maybe the answer is everybody chill out. Don't worry so much. Don't put it on. I mean, I ain't had trouble not watching Jimmy Carr. I've just not watched it.
I mean, there's bigger fish to fry as well, I always think.
Fish, don't even get me started on fish. What about the overfishing of the oceans, guys?
Yeah. Oh my God, drag fishing.
Now I'm offended.
Yeah.
Well done, Chris.
I'm sorry about that.
What have you done?
Back in the day, we had the Comic Code of America. That was we got around that by not printing books that didn't have that on it. I released some controversial material and I got away with it.
Yeah.
Hey, there was a preacher in America very recently who did a big book burning last week, week before. Harry Potter, Twilight, all of your tarot cards, crystals.
All the good stuff. What?
Yeah. All the fun stuff.
Was it the first edition Harry Potter?
Can you imagine?
I feel like you should rock up to one of them book burnings with a truck full of Katie Price's biography. This is an offensive book. I don't know. World's going crazy, guys, and we're just along for the ride. So, you know.
Watch a comedian where a heckler was either racist or homophobic, got thrown out, and the comedian just couldn't understand why the heckler paid to see him.
Yeah, it's a familiar trope, isn't it? It just keeps this. I don't even know if people are actually offended, or if some dude who's working on an online journalism thing is going, "Oh, this is something to write." You know what I mean? Where's the proof that people are actually offended?
I mean, man, to sell papers and that, they have to come up with all this stuff, don't they? So yeah, you know, all these, they're after the next story out there. So of course they are. You know, they'll watch anything they can grab on there after these people. Anyway, let's get a bit lighter. We went down a bit of a rabbit hole there.
Guys,
So let's
chill out. Try not
talk
to
about
get
your Lego
offended.
Web. What have you
Don't
got
worry.
new in the Lego
Let
world?
the fish go.
Well, we thought we'd have a little Lego update. It's been a few weeks, hasn't it? So I got some Legos.
Oh,
So just before I had a break from the show, I got Stranger Things Lego. I don't know if you got them pictures. I don't think I actually showed them on the show. But what a great set, man.
look at this.
It's so cute. Look.
That's
I mean, you
amazing.
can tell who each character is. It's crazy. Even the guy who's got the, you know, his teeth are still growing in and he keeps dusting. He keeps telling him all the way through. They've even done his lips a bit different. So it actually looks like him. It's crazy. So yeah, there's the minifigures. That's the top of the. So it's a double building. You've got the house they live in, and then you can flip it upside down, and you've got the upside down version of the same house.
Oh, that's amazing.
On a massive stand with a little Demogorgon and 11, and yeah, man, cute. And it was retiring. That's why I bought it. It's the retiring this set. That's the back of the house. You can see the internal features of the house. Yeah, and that's that. And that's the Demogorgon. Look at that guy. Again, the cock. Yeah, that's the Stranger Things set. Yeah, Winona Ryder in 11.
She was great in Stranger Things. I've got so much time for Winona Ryder.
Yeah, man. It brought that authenticity of the 80s, didn't it, that you needed for something like that. It felt
what
even
a great
more...
actress.
And Sean Astin as well.
Sean Astin, yeah. One of the best things I've seen Winona Ryder acting, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just
I
wonderful.
Thought she was a really good actor.
Talking about Kate Price, to return about 4 covers of print it half upside down, probably made it better. Yeah. That was Peter Andre's half. Just flipped it over, and that had his autobiography at the same time. Decided to combine it because there wasn't enough material.
Pretty much the same story. Yeah. I floated into fame, didn't have a clue what was going on, and then wondered why I was miserable every day.
Did you ever see the audio that got leaked of her singing "A Whole New World"?
Oh God, it was awful.
It's hilarious.
Oh,
one of the sound engineers were pissed off apparently and just went, right, you can have the original audio. She was just going, fair
enough.
Oh, Webby, it's shocking. It's absolutely shocking.
I think I've seen it, yeah. Oh, jeez. You want some more Lego?
Yeah.
A little bit more. What else we got? We got Bro Thor's house. Have you got that one, Lummy?
Yeah, I've got that.
This is a little set now that's, I think you can get it in the Lego shop.
Look at that.
So you know when Thor loses and he goes off and hides with Korg. It's his living room. It's all Nordic. And
what's on the TV? What are they watching?
It's the game they're playing. They play that game. They're playing that Noob Master guy, aren't they? And also on the table there is Meek, the little purple thing. That's Meek, the little alien. So 25 quid. That's not bad.
That's all right.
Nice pizza and beer all over the place. But what I really like is Thor's figure's got a little pot belly. You can just about see it. I don't know, it's really cute, man. It's cool.
That's cool. I like it.
Now,
that's good.
Korg. Robin, my son, spotted these two figures yesterday, and he took them off and played with them. And then I spent the rest of the day looking for Korg's head because he took Iron Man's hair, Tony Stark's hair off, and put it on Korg, and Korg's hair off it. And I was just like, I've got to find it. I'm looking around the house all day for a tiny little Lego figure. But my next one was a bit of a treat. I got that Ghostbusters car last year, and a couple of weeks after I got it, I was in the Lego shop, and they've released this pickup truck, and it's just gorgeous. I don't even like cars.
Look at that.
It's a maroon, and it's a farmer's truck. So you've got the farmer's market and all the little baskets full of all the produce, which is seasonal. So if you've got it at Christmas, you've got a Christmas wreath and a Christmas present. You've got tomatoes and pumpkins, and it's just really cute, man. Really love it. Nice. So they're pretty big. Those, they're huge. I like them. I don't know what I'm going to get next, guys. I don't know what I fancy, but we'll see.
I love collecting geek stuff.
I really I've got to get them Muppets figures, mate. They're doing a limited edition Lego Muppets figures.
Yeah. When are they out? You know,
it's supposed to be out in a couple of months, I think. But there's a rumor that they're going to do the Muppets Theatre, which would be my dream. I'll get a Muppets Theatre.
I get it.
Yeah, and I've got the Sesame Street one, so go quite nice together.
Right.
Excuse me.
Very
But
good.
yeah,
Very
that's
good.
Lego.
All right, that was good.
That's Lego.
Thanks for the Lego update. So I guess we're going to talk a little bit about the old Boba Fett now, unless we've got anything else to talk about before we do this.
Can I just say that I'm really overexcited at the moment too, because I've just ordered a limited edition Ghost from the York Ghost Merchants.
Oh, you were telling us about
Oh
this.
my God,
Right,
I effing love.
Tell everybody
Oh my
about
God. So I love the York Ghost Merchants so much. So it's this tiny little shop in York. Chris is so sick of hearing this. Tiny little shop in York, and it is on the shambles, and they hand make ceramic ghosts. So they're that big. If I could reach one, I'd get one. I might go get one for you a second, or that big, depending. And they're all unique, and you can go in and you can get a big one or a little one, whatever you want. But every now and then they will release a limited edition one, which just rocket in value. So for instance, there's a glass one which they sold for 80 because they only made a certain amount and it was handmade each one, which is now on eBay for about, they're going for about 250 quid.
Jeez.
Yeah, and they made a Halloween one which has got like a little white ghost with glowing green eyes, and that was 20 in the shop, well 18 in the shop, but it's now worth between 100 and 150 quid. So I've started to keep my eye on the website, and if they release a limited edition one, they usually release them for anything between 20 and 60 pounds. But then you'll see them on eBay within weeks for like 100, 110.
Wow, okay. So they're pretty chase. So yeah. Are they based on different people or characters or famous dead people or what?
It really depends. Like the one that I've just got is called a Winter Storm one, but it's inspired by the story of Grace Darling, who rode out into the storm and saved all those men. Do you remember the story, really famous story? She came out of the lighthouse with her father. A ship had been wrecked, and she literally got in a boat. And this was in the Victorian times. Got in a boat and rode out in a storm to start rescuing the men from the boat. So the ghost is inspired by her story and the fact that she saved so many lives that night.
Yeah, but if a ghost came along to save you, you'd be a bit like, are you supposed to be scared or thankful? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, but each one's handmade and it's meant to look like a dark winter's sea.
I would really like to see it. I'd like to see
when it comes. I'll bring it on the Geek Show. Yeah, I'll bring you on the Geek Show.
You've been a bit of wheeling and dealing, haven't you, with these ghost figures?
Yeah, I recently got the Christmas one. So the Christmas one was into the shops at 20 quid, and I managed to get it for, I think I got it for £40. It's now going onto the website for around 90, 100 on eBay. So I'm telling you, get yourself the limited edition ones.
Are they okay? Are they meant to be like cutesified or?
Do you want me to get one?
Yeah, I'd love to see one.
Talk amongst yourselves, chaps.
Right. Lummy, you know yourself how hard it is to get a ghost to sit still while you paint them.
Oh yeah. I'll show you what I got actually while waiting for that.
Well, let's do it. What have I got? I ain't got.
Look at this. This week I got some books that I were after. Indiana Jones. Some guy sold these on eBay as a job lot. 1 to 9. Look at these bad boys.
All right. All different adventures.
Yeah.
Oh man,
picked them up.
Lummy, you should write a script. You should take the best bits out of them and write a script.
Hang on a minute, it's getting to best one.
Oh my God, here we go. So these are books you were telling me about.
How did that get in there?
Eric and Ernie's TV fun book. Beautiful.
Do you know what this is? It's actually a cartoon.
I love how you've turned yourself into Ray from Ghostbusters with your little occult bookstore.
Look at that cartoon book, Morecambe Wise.
Oh man, you'll have hours of fun with that, Lummy.
Oh, I'll be reading that.
Have you got your Indiana Jones books yet? That's
what
I want to know.
What are these indie titles? What are some of the adventures you can expect to see, mate?
Indiana Jones: The Curse of Horror Island, Indiana Jones: The Lost
Scary,
Treasure of Sheba, Indiana Jones and the Giants of the Silver Tower, Indiana Jones: The Eye of the Fates, Indiana Jones: The Cup of the Vampire, Indiana Jones: The Legion of Death, Indiana Jones: The Cult of the Cult of the Mummy's Crypt. Indiana Jones, the Dragon of Vengeance, Indiana Jones and the Gold of Genghis Khan.
Oh, Indiana Jones and a couple of what? A couple of what did you say? A couple of what? A couple of vampires.
Cup of the Vampire. Cup of the
Vampire. Cup of the Vampire. That makes more sense. Indiana Jones are just a couple of vampires.
Just hanging out, just went for a drink. Had a great time.
That's just the comical one.
There we are. Look, so that is one of the little. So this is one that you can just get in the shop. Anyone can get that. Right. So that was £18, but online they go for about 30 or 35. This is a limited edition Christmas one with 24 karat gold leaf on the front. That's the one that's now going for about £90 to £100 on
Ooh,
eBay.
you're going to be a billionaire. So,
So-
to answer my question, I'd say they're kind of cute, but also kind of traditional
Kind of spooky.
too.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I've
cool.
got a few different ones. I've got about 4 or 5.
Are they all
I'm
the
just gonna
same
be getting-
mold and they're just different paint jobs and accessories kind of thing, or are they all the same
Yes.
shape?
They're all the same shape. Some of them are made completely by hand, and some of them are molded, like in a mold.
They look
Like
a
the
bit like
one that I've
Willies.
ordered is made by hand because they have to. I don't know what he said, but I assume it was rude.
Said they look like willies. Just
They look a bit like
They look like
Willies.
willies. Little willy
Oh.
ghosts. Little willy ghosts. There you go.
Okay, you'll be careful with them. Take
Yeah.
care of them.
Like that.
Just check it out. I'm just saying, guys, that in about maybe in the next couple of years, if you get a few, you can make a bit of money out of them. That's all I'm saying.
All right, man. Yeah, I'll have to show you my Muppets one day, Nat. You'll be amazed.
Hey.
There's thousands of pounds worth of them. I don't even know what to do with them.
Sell them.
They're great. I
No,
don't
sell
sell
them.
them.
Get them
Don't
all
sell
on the
them.
show. Why
They're-
not?
Yeah, where
that's
are they?
Robin's inheritance. Well,
Indiana
a
Jones
couple-
eventually being cancelled.
Indiana Jones and the offensive gig, the offensive content. I don't know.
Shall we get onto the Boba Fett then? Shall we get onto this?
Are we Boba Fetting already? It's Boba
I think
Fett
so.
time.
I don't think there's anything else unless you want to talk about.
Hang on.
it for a minute.
This okay, Nat, you haven't seen it, so I do apologise. I know you know bits of it, right? But
It's all right. I'm just here
anybody
for
else
the ride.
notice? Anybody else notice that Boba Fett ain't really in this fucking show anymore?
Yeah, well, let's hang on before you start bad mouthing him. Let's do it properly. So, are we gonna?
Bad-mouthing
If
him.
anybody wants to come in for this, we've actually got a banner. There you go. Copy that and paste it. You can come in and join us on this one if you want to come in. I'm sure Gary will be here in a minute. I think he was going to join us, wasn't he?
Good old Gaza.
So come on, in, Gary.
Yeah.
Going back to Ghost for a second before we hit Boba Fett, would you sleep with a ghost?
Probably.
I think you would. I feel like you're
Yeah, just to see what it's like. Do you know what I mean?
Honestly, okay.
And you can say that you've done it.
I was going to say.
Oh, did you? You wouldn't be able to prove it, would you?
I was going to say Patrick Stewart, but it's Patrick Swayze in Ghost, not Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart's probably up for it once he's dead, I reckon.
That would be a hell of a remake. Oh, Lummy's frozen solid.
Oh, he has. Look at him.
Look at
And
him.
in a sort of a disturbing way. This happened the other day, and he says, if this happens, just keep talking. But it was just me.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Well, now you've said that, I've gone completely blank. What were we talking about? Ghost sex.
Well, when you started talking about ghost sex, and then accused Patrick. He's off. And then we're talking about Patrick Stewart. I reckon Patrick Stewart would sleep with you whether you were a ghost or not.
I'd probably sleep with him. He seems cool.
Oh man, doesn't he? Have you seen that picture of him in his Christmas pajamas, knitting, watching the TV in bed?
I love him. I absolutely love him. He was the what's it called? The sponsor of my.
Was he?
Yeah, he was the sponsor of my. What's his relation to me? Oh, the cousin. My cousin's university. He was the guy who handed out all the doctorates and stuff at Huddersfield University.
That's pretty cool.
Unfortunately, my cousin never finished.
Oh,
uni, so I never got to see him. But yeah,
I met him once in the West Yorkshire Playhouse Bar.
Really?
True story, absolutely true. You know, when you can't talk because you're so excited.
I can't
so
believe
I
I've
just
not
did.
met him. How have I not met him?
You're from Yorkshire and you've not met Patrick Stewart. How's that?
I'm the one on the bloody trains in first class all the time, wasn't I? You thought I'd have got a train once in a while, Patrick.
Mate, who did you meet when you were on the trains?
Oh, who did I meet? Coolest people I met were Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson.
Shut up.
Yeah,
you met Rowan Atkinson?
Yeah, and everybody told me not to talk to him because he was miserable. And I went, no, I'm not having that. It's not every day you get to meet Rowan Atkinson. So I went up and introduced myself and had a lovely chat with him. He was awesome.
Oh,
the second time I met him
so
was one of the hottest days I ever worked on the trains. And if you've ever been on a train in the sunshine, never mind a heat wave, just the sunshine, it's hot. And he was stood in the vestibule in between carriages with his head down, trying not to be talked to. So I went up and asked him if he were all right and if he wanted any water. And it was really lovely. Really lovely
what an angel! Bless him.
Who else did I meet? It was cool. I missed Michael Palin.
No.
My sister used to work there as well, and he showed up on my sister's shift, and she ended up getting me. Oh no, she didn't. She got me an autograph from Bill Bailey because she met him.
Oh, love him.
She didn't feel comfortable asking Michael Palin to sign an autograph for me, and I was gutted.
I think he'd have been cool with it.
Yeah, it would have been.
Tell you who I saw getting off a train once, and I ran up and said hello to them, and then left them alone. And his name has literally gone out of my head because I've said it, but the star from Hello Hello. What's his name? Yes, yeah. Hey, Gary.
Natalie. Hi, Webby.
Yeah.
Hey, Webby. We're just holding down the fort while Lummy's gone for a poo, I think.
I'm assuming. Yeah.
But really quick, Webby, I recently went to go visit you, and the door was locked, right? So I was like, I'm gonna climb up the side.
Let me see. Right? Yeah, you've got little squirrely thin fingers.
No,
I decided to
climb, and I fell, and I fell, and I just went home and watched John Candy.
Sorry about that. Did I go and everybody else was still here? Because for some reason it would not connect back together. I don't know why.
Yeah, we were all just chatting away.
You went like this.
As long as it wasn't dead air.
And then it cut off.
I had to reset.
We're just talking, and this might be a good one for Gary. Gary, who's the coolest? Have you ever met anybody famous?
Yeah, of course.
Who have you met? Who's? I bet in New York you bump into people all the time.
Yeah,
Mr. Bean.
Yeah, in New York City, famous people live there. I think Daniel Radcliffe lives there. Matthew Broderick lives there. Few people live actually pretty close to me. Adam Sandler lives around here. Kevin James from King of Queens. Ralph Macchio was like one town over from me.
Cool.
Yeah. Coolest celebrity I've ever met. Oh wow. He wasn't really that famous, but I was working on a show. I was working on a movie called The King of Staten Island with Pete Davidson.
I've seen that, man. You made that movie.
Yeah, I was in. Well, I didn't make it, but I was involved in it.
Dude, that is a fucking. I'm gonna use a phrase I don't usually use. That's a dope movie. It's a fucking great movie. That, guys, check it out. Pete Davidson. He's that obnoxious American comedian that not like you either love him or you hate him. But in this movie, he's fucking brilliant. He plays the son of a fireman, a stoner fuck up of a really cool fireman, and his dad died when he was a kid. And he's always felt the pressure to be a fireman, but he can't get his shit together. He just wants to smoke weed and bone his missus, and that's it. And it's all about him finding himself, and it's fucking brilliant. It's a great film. Wow, you were that's so cool, Gary.
Yeah, I was a part of that, yeah. And when we were filming it, we were in a cafeteria because we all had to eat, and we had this humongous line, and because everyone wanted to get food, so I was on the line, and I hear this voice, and I get like see this person kind of like coming down, and it was actually a comedian that I really, really loved. It was a comedian named Dan Natterman.
Oh,
and yeah. I had no idea he was in the thing, but he was coming down. I just went up to him like one of the coolest guys ever.
Cool.
So are you one of those people who's got no fear when you meet a famous person? Are you gonna get that autograph? You're gonna say hi. You're gonna say your piece, or are you traditionally British about it, which is no, we couldn't possibly bother them. Let's.
I rarely ask for an autograph or a picture, but if I really like someone, yeah, I'm gonna go up to them. But it's like I'll only go up to them if I really know their work and like their work.
Cool.
I just worked with Kit Harington, Game of Thrones.
Oh yeah.
But I've never seen Game of Thrones, so I have nothing to talk to him about.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Probably pleased you didn't, because I bet it gets like bugged with stuff. I think they all do, don't they? But yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, okay.
I loved you in something I didn't see. Like,
yeah. Well, if you like the Yorkshire accent, I believe you're a fan. Check out Game of Thrones, man. It's full of that shit. You got some proper Yorkshire stuff going on in there. That's cool, man. Oh, that's really cool. How weird that you worked on that fucking film. That's a great film. I can't sell it to you highly enough, guys. It's a really lovely film.
Did I miss anybody else's stories? Webb, you've met some people doing trains, haven't you, when you were on?
I was just telling Nat in the little break while you were having a poo that I met Rowan Atkinson, and everybody told me to avoid him. They said he was a really notoriously miserable and private train passenger. And when I was working on the trains, Gary, I didn't just like show up on the train. I showed up and waited, and, you know, every time he didn't show up, I went home and came back the next day and just waited again. No,
that was Webby's hobby before he got the show. He would just sit on trains.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all he did.
all those other idiots spotting trains. I'm spotting celebrities, man. You know. No, I met him. He was really cool. I met Howard Marks a couple of months before he died. You know how Howard Marks is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was super nice, man. Mr. Nice. You know what I mean? He was literally Mr. Nice. I met two of the guys from League of Gentlemen individually. Steve Pemberton, the guy from Benidorm, you know, who plays Tubbs. He got on the train one day and he came to ask me a question about when the train was setting off. And he walked up to go into standard class, and I was like, "Well, haven't you got a first class ticket? You're like famous." He was like, "No." I said, "Stay there." And I went and got the train guy. So we've got to let this guy sit in first class. It's fucking the guy. He's League of Gentlemen guy. Anyway, a couple of months goes by. I was working on the bar on the train, you know, serving the beers and everything. And Mark Gatiss walked up. And I had a pint and we had a chat. And I was like, "I just said Steve Pemberton the other week."
Did he say to you, other week, you let my mate...
He was already in first class, of course. No, he was. And oh my God, he was so lovely. I literally grilled him for 2 hours about Sherlock.
Really?
About what's coming out next. Are you doing any League of Gentlemen? And I swear to God, I never told anybody this, but he said this was pre the last series. Remember they did a series a couple of years ago, League of Gentlemen. Yeah. And I said, "Are you ever going to do anything again, man?" And he was like, "Well, you know what? Watch this space. There's something coming out really soon." I was like, "Shit, you're giving me the scoop." Yeah, I was well excited. And then it came out and I was like, yeah, he was super charming. It was a really quiet day. So he just indulged me for like 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. It was really cool. That was one of the nicest celebrity experiences.
In your Daisy meet somebody, she wants to tell me.
I'm not talking to her about it. Michael Palin.
Michael Palin, yeah.
Yeah, she met him on the train to Harrogate, which he was frequently on.
And he gave her some cake or something, didn't he?
Yeah, and he signed an autograph for her, and she was so nervous that she forgot to ask him for one for me. So then the next time she met somebody famous, she met Bill Bailey next time and got an autograph for me because she felt so guilty.
I love him so much.
But yeah, apart from that, yeah, you'd occasionally get like James May and Jeremy Clarkson going up to Harrogate together to do some shit. They were really rude. And I'm a smoker, but these two, they fucking stank of cigarettes. Like really stank, like old school 70s DJ smoking, you know what I mean? Yeah, so
you get the impression they'd be rude. You can just tell.
But I'll tell you, nobody ever believed us. You're not even going to believe me, but this is the truth. I
don't believe you.
Have you ever heard of the Kaiser Chiefs, Gary?
Lying sack of shit, Webb.
There's a British band called the Kaiser Chiefs. They're from Leeds. They do really anthemic rock. And Ricky Wilson, when he was doing the voice,
feminine rock. I was going to say, what the hell's feminine rock?
Ricky Wilson was sat in first class, and he had this baseball cap, and his head was down, and big beard, and he was doing the voice at the time, and asked him if he wanted a drink. And he said, "Yeah, I'll have a Coke." And quick as a flash, I must have been on form that day. I went, "You'll have a Coke." I went, "I predicted diet. I swear to God."
Oh my God.
And then he started laughing, and I was like, "Fuck it." Honestly, true story.
And then he lost his job.
Yeah, and then I got sacked.
Yeah, that's when he stopped working on trains. Can you tell you stop making jokes?
Celebrity dalliances.
Martin's put this. I forgot to say I saw David Warner again the other day and mentioned I'd been talking about this show a few weeks back. Get him on.
Oh, cool.
Get him on.
Bring him on.
Should go Stratford and see quite a lot of celebrities.
Oh, who, Martin? Who?
The Bard.
But what's weird is you never show, which I'm not that massively impressed by celebrities. It's peculiar people. If I met Bill Bailey, I'd go nuts.
I've never been bothered because I think you'll always, they might disappoint if you meet them. But have you, Nat, have you met anybody?
I was just saying to Nathan, I met Patrick Stewart once.
Oh.
Absolute angel, one of the nicest people ever. Really sweet at a bar. No, West Yorkshire Playhouse Bar.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did he have his captain's uniform?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he did a thing, and then he just disappeared. It was really weird.
Just
I don't know what
engaged,
happened.
Yep.
Yeah. Something about
Oh.
changing timelines. I don't know.
Was
But
he
yeah, I
drinking
think-
an Earl Grey?
He wasn't. He had a pint like a proper Yorkshireman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He is a proper Yorkshireman.
he is.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All
Patrick
right.
Stewart's my biggest claim to fame.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool,
I love
man.
him.
Look at us, celebrity spotting. Amazing.
Yeah, we're not quite Gary's level though. We're not making films.
Well, Webby has met a lot of people on the train. Jesus, Harry Potter, the character, not the actor. John Kennedy, Michael Jackson.
I met weird thing is, not only did I meet Harry Potter, but I met Weird Al Yankovic, but not Weird Al Yankovic. I met Daniel Radcliffe dressed as Weird Al Yankovic before he got cast.
Yeah,
isn't that strange?
Yeah,
I actually saw Weird Al Yankovic. I saw his comedy show when I went to California, and I saw him, and he was really close. And I thought to myself, he's got to be wearing a wig.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, he's 65. His hair is still so long and brown. I'm like, he has to be wearing a wig.
Do you know, Gary? I'm just thinking, if you were that close,
you just
yoink down.
No,
sorry, Weird Al, I've pulled your wig off.
Don't Weird Al yank off his.
Yeah, don't Yankovic off his wig.
Yankovic.
Yankovic. Yeah.
Yankovic. Oh dear.
Patrick Stewart really cool. He used to be in Stratford all the time, as he has a house nearby. His brother works on his garden.
Oh, that's awesome. Worked on his garden.
His seed sowing. Make it so.
Were
his plants legal?
Use my hoe. I'm going to say, actually, so the person I've met, obviously, is the Boba Fett guy, Jeremy Bullock. So that leads us into our
that brings us nicely to the next good segue, Lummy.
Nice.
I haven't
You've
got
been
me
practicing
Jeremy
your
Bullock.
segues.
Well, yeah. I mean, when I did Russell Howard, there he was. Yeah.
Did you do Russell Howard?
Yeah,
you never mentioned it. Never mentioned
out with
it.
Jeremy Bullock before we went on.
Did you guys see that photo recently of Anthony Daniels in the mocap suit at Disney? Yes. What's that all about, Lummy? Do you know what project he's actually attached to?
They're doing a series out there on Disney Plus again called Droids. So I think it's a animated thing. So I assume it's for that.
Oh, so we're doing some like Tales of the Crypt Keeper.
Are you drinking? Have you been drinking?
I haven't. Too tired to drink.
No, Gary knows.
We're doing some links between different adventures, yeah.
But we don't know what these new shows are on Disney Plus. But we're going to talk a little bit about Book of Boba Fett. Have you watched this then, Gary? Have you been watching it?
What I could say about it is the thing that impressed me the most is the way they're telling stories now. With all these with all these effects and all these different people, and it's this whole monster. It's amazing.
Well, dude, I mean, it takes some balls to write 4 shit episodes of a TV show, and then around about episode 5, throw the main character out and make a better show in the middle of the show. It was such a fucking weird approach, man.
It's been so weird. This, I mean, so this is what happened. Obviously, episode 1 to 4.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. Do not. If you've not seen the show, this is all going to be spoilers. So tough shit.
Okay,
so basically, the first 4 episodes were about Boba Fett and his flashbacks to when he used to work with the Tusken Raiders for some reason.
Showing you him escaping the Sarlacc pit, befriending the Tuskens and learning some of their skills.
I have got pictures to go with some of this stuff. So there you go.
Yeah, and so it's been a mixture of setting up Boba Fett's new role in Tatooine as the new Hutt after Jabba the Fett.
Boba the Hutt.
Guys, I'm sorry. I need another month off.
Natalie, I think we were right.
Yeah, he's something, Gary. It's something.
It's just joy. I'm just happy.
I've literally only just noticed what Gary's name is.
I just want to put that out there. I'm still not rich.
So yeah, the first 4 episodes are trying to set up what's going on with Boba Fett in the new regime after Jabba the Hutt has gone and him taking over. But it's also showing you flashbacks of how he escaped from the Sarlacc pit And then halfway through, well, about episode 4, it feels like they went, I'm fucking bored of this. Anybody want to see what's going on with Mando? And they just wrote a whole episode all about what's been going on with Mando. Tied it in right at the end because he meets Shenik Fand. What's she called? Fennec Shand? Shenik Fand? Whatever the hell. Some Star Wars shit.
Boba Fett.
Yeah, and so she comes to hire
Jabba the Fett.
She comes to hire the Mandalorian for Boba Fett's new gang.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
I'm just gonna have
eloquently put, Webb, all that. I mean, I couldn't explain it better myself. You know what I mean? It's exactly what
Webbs, are you like
Very spot on.
The script writers would do it, though, so it's fine.
Can I just say that Nathan only got like this when Gary came on, and you were a little bit like,
Starstruck, yeah. It's like,
he's worked on that movie. He's a big movie guy. Oh my god.
So all these flashbacks, right? They send Boba Fett, and he's supposed to have lived with the Tusken Raiders, learning all about their customs and things, and that's where you get all this stuff going on, where he teaches them how to ride a speeder bike. And
was that Vin Diesel?
Yeah, Vin Diesel, yeah, Fast and Furious.
Yes.
So there's all this stuff in there, but you know, all this concepts out and that, you know. And then
and also he saves their asses from a bunch of bullies that are bullying them all the time.
Yeah.
So Boba Fett saves the Tuskens from the bullies, teaches those bullies a lesson.
Can I just ask a question? Does it depend on, like, some people call it Bob? You're saying Boba. Some people say Bubba. Is there what?
I'm trying to mend my ways. I think it's Boba, but because we're in Leeds, so it's Boba. Boba Fett, innit?
When we're kids, you called it Boba Fett, you know.
Yeah.
And, now the way
Jabba. You didn't even say that there. Yeah.
Jabba Tut.
Jabba Tut. Yeah. Jabba Tut. And then you get things like this weird creature that nobody's ever seen before.
Okay. Yeah. In essence, right, what I'm trying to say is the first 2 episodes are okay. The first one and the second one, a lot of backstory and setting up and then around about episode 3, they're like, right, let's throw something new and exciting in there. And they do all this Attack of the Clones shit, throwing in a biker gang from the streets of young cyberpunks.
Let's show you. I mean, this biker gang. So there's been a lot of controversy over this, hasn't there, in the Star Wars fans?
Yeah, because it's crap.
Yeah, these bikes, they're saying they look so out of place and things.
Yeah, they look like Vespas or something. It's awful. Yeah. They're all different colours and it's weird.
Yeah. I mean, I've got
they're supposed to be hard as nails, but they look really soft. Like, yeah.
So these characters are like called the mods as well, because they've been modified by robot parts.
Yeah. And they're the biker people.
Yeah, they're the bikers.
Because I could take them. Look at them.
Yeah,
not them. I couldn't take them.
No, I wouldn't have a go with them. Yeah, they're pretty hard, those guys.
But then one of the good bits I like, though, let's talk about some positives.
Okay.
So I liked the twins thing, the idea with the huts coming in. Did you like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, I did. I liked it. The thing is about some of this stuff is it feels highly unneeded and unnecessary, but I'm grateful to have it. So, for example, there was one of the characters from the band, not Max Rebo, but the guy who plays the clarinet with the big googly eyes. Yeah, he's now been in this show like 7 or 8 times. So you've gone from seeing somebody you saw for a split second in Return of the Jedi, and possibly in the original Star Wars, The New Hope. You've gone from seeing him. He's probably got about 30 seconds of screen time in the whole thing, and now he's like a regular. It's nice, you know. It's nice to see him. No, the blue elephant guy is Max Rebo, but the other guy plays the clarinet with the big googly eyes, and there's 3 of them. But yeah, so things like that have now become so commonplace that you're actually a little bit bored of it. You know what I mean? It's like all these little Easter eggs. This show exists for Easter eggs. That's what it is. That's all it is.
So, what do you think about the Wookiee character? This guy?
He's badass. Yeah. He's a moody
He
Wookiee.
looks very cool.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
And he was from the comics, wasn't he? They've kind of put stuff out of the comics now into this thing as well. So there's some really good bits, but then there's weird, like the bit with the bikers. It was so slow, the chase. You felt like you needed to speed it up, crank it up a bit.
Was it like mobility scooters chase?
Yeah.
Yeah, and also it looked a bit prequely. It looked a bit fake. They were the weakest moments in it. But yeah, 4 episodes in, I'm very much thinking, what what's the point here? Why do I care? Like, it's not Sopranos. Stop trying to make it Space Sopranos, because it's not that.
And we've got, I mean, this character as well. I mean, you know, you've got this like.
Hey, that's me.
Gary's character.
Yeah, so there's some sleazy politician sycophant to the
But
mayor.
even that, I thought it didn't really fit in with the whole. It was just a bit.
Yeah, man. The things I like about it, I like seeing more of of Jabba's palace. I like seeing more of that environment. There was a bit where Fennec Shan sent in a little scanning robot, and it showed you all the tunnels of the map of the building. I thought that was pretty cool.
So, but this is what we're leading up to in it. So these 4 episodes go by, and then you think, well, what are they going to do with this? So everyone's getting a bit like, meh.
In fact, all 3 of us were talking about it. Me, Rich, and Lummy were saying, I don't know if I can be bothered with episode 5.
Watch it because it's on anyway. But you know, I'm not really too bothered about what happens. It was a bit odd, and then all of a sudden, they drop episode 5, and it's called "The Return of the Mandalorian." It's an entire episode without Boba Fett in it all, and it's really good.
Just Mando kicking some ass.
Yeah,
it was awesome. And that, by the way, that planet they were on, you know, that sort of like one of Saturn's rings or something.
I've got it here. Hang on. There you go.
Yeah, there's this. Yeah, look at that for a cool concept. Man.
That's cool.
It's like a city, so it's constantly going into. So parts of the city are constantly in dark, and parts. So the sunset is like really quick. It moves really quick across the ring of planets. It was really cool. But yeah, I liked that. That was cool.
Well, it showed you. I mean, we're talking about the speed of the fight sequences. Well, the speed of chase, and even the fight sequences earlier on in the, you know, in episode 1 and all that of the series, they're all slow, and then all of a sudden, the Mandalorian, the first bit of this episode, is kicking everybody's ass and chops a guy in half with the.
And it literally, as soon as that Mandalorian music starts, you're like, what? Hang on a minute. Are we going to get a whole episode of? And it was a whole episode.
Yeah.
But there are some troubling things. This folklore they've built up behind the Mandalorians is absolute bullshit. Come on. So there's a woman called the armorer who makes all the Mandalorian armor. Right? You have to earn the metal. You have to fight people to earn the metal to make your armor, right? And she's a badass, but she's very much like, well, I'm the boss of the Mandalorians now, so I know all the mythology, I know all the religion and everything. And the whole thing predicates on whether you've taken your helmet off or not. And they're all a bunch of liars, right? Because she said to him, have you taken your helmet off? And he's like, yeah, kind of took my helmet off. She's like, well, you're not a Mandalorian then. This is not the way. You've done the wrong thing. And I felt like he should have said, do you ever brush your teeth, lady? What the fuck are you talking about? You're not telling me you've had that helmet on when you've been to bed. How do you wash your hair?
It's in front of others. You can't take it off in because you see bits where he's having a drink and stuff, don't you? Where, you know.
Yeah, but he took it off to show that sexy lady that he liked in that episode, didn't he?
Men,
he fell in love
honestly, men.
No, it was good.
2 minutes, we can have you show us anything.
Okay, by that logic, now, if I showed up with a helmet and we're like, do it, and you're like, all right, well, I've got to do it now because I've just told you I don't have to see, I don't have to see your face. Yeah, so yeah, it was all for love, and I thought it was quite sweet. And also, I think he showed baby Grogu as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Baby Yoda.
Not in that episode, no. Right, so the end of that episode 5, there was a really good bit you forgot about. He needed a new ship, didn't he? And he went to see that.
Oh yeah.
His mate, and he says, "What have you got for me?" He said, "You had a new ship." So we got a ship from episode 1. Here we go. Look at that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's pretty cool ship.
Starfighter. So,
it makes sense as well. I mean, that is one part of the. I think it's probably the only part of the prequels that I'm really glad to see back in it. It made sense. It totally suits him.
It was a good sequence, all that stuff, and very good episode.
So yeah, he gets his new ship, flies up to meet the armorer to make some. He's got some steel, and he wants to make something. He wants to make something for Baby Yoda to keep him safe. So he gives over a bit of his steel that he's got for the armorer to make an armor for the Baby Yoda thing, and it was really cute. And she wraps it up in a bundle and gives it little Yoda ears. It was really cool.
That's
really
adorable.
Yeah. Really adorable. But
that's
the
cute.
episode ends pretty much. Remember, I can't come to help Boba Fett right now.
A bit weird. What's your mind? It's all right now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't come to help the Boba Fett now because I've got to go see an old friend. And you're like, what? Is that how Mandalorian season 3 is going to start? He's going to go over to find Baby Yoda, and they're going to have a reunion. Everything's going to be awesome.
You're going to cry.
No, we didn't have to wait till that because episode 6 comes along, and guess what? It just picks up right from there. It's Mandalorian back again, and he's on this bloody planet with Baby Yoda and Luke. And you're just like, what?
Yeah.
What the shit is going on here?
So,
Not just Luke, but Luke beautifully
Mark
rendered
Hamill.
CGI.
Yeah.
Like it was unbelievable.
Webb, calm down.
I'm sorry.
Right, so first of all, it does it too out of order. He spoils it straight away like that. You need to.
He's getting excited.
First of all, you see, right? It cuts down to the planet, and you see a little sensor scope thing in the air, don't you? Going like that, and you think, "Whoa, it's not going to be R2D2." Hands down, it's R2D2, isn't it? And you think,
only bloody is, isn't it?
Bloody
and there's a really lovely shot as well, Nat, where Mando jumps out of his ship, and the camera pans around the ship, and you briefly see R2D2 in the cockpit, like he was for Anakin Skywalker on the same ship all that time. It was really cute, really sweet.
I love R2D2.
There's these droids, isn't they, picking up rocks, and you think, what are they doing with these rocks? And hang on, we got a picture there. Look,
yeah,
they're taking them.
Droids.
Yeah, they're taking them to build the temple, the Jedi temple.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's actually where Rich has been for a few weeks.
Yeah, that's where he is, isn't it?
He'd be back by now, but he keeps failing it. He's not zen enough. He keeps getting really angry.
Yeah.
So, but like he says, the CGI Luke now, they're able. I mean, this is what we're going to talk about in a minute, but it looked amazing. It looked there's a couple of screenshots there. Look, I mean,
yeah,
you know, some of the shots look so good.
That does look amazing.
So, Nat, in Mandalorian season 2, the big reveal at the end of it, spoiler alerts for people who are watching and haven't seen it yet, is that Luke Skywalker, or a digital rendering that looked a bit iffy for Disney. I have to be honest, it didn't look right. We watched it, we did a show about it, and Rich and I and Lummy all said the same thing, which was it was amazing to see. But then when you watched it again, you realized how bad the CGI actually was. Now, in the space of about 9 months or something, a year, they've got to the point where now that 30 seconds of seeing Luke is now for an entire episode, and you are completely fooled into thinking it's really him, pretty much.
And it was
Except there's a little bit of
it was a long time we were on this episode. It's not like
and he speaks. He's very Jedi-like. He's very composed. So it's a really good character to pick for this because he doesn't do much. You know, they don't have to animate his face all the time. He's not too chatty. You know, it was cool, man. It was really cool to see. The only thing was there was just still a little bit of like lack of expression behind the eyes because they're not real. They're not real eyes. You know what I mean? But I swear to God, it was unbelievable.
When
effects.
you think about it, you know, I mean, that scene there where he's on top of the hill with him and they're talking, and you know he's doing all that. Well, he picks a frog up, doesn't he, out with force and tries to eat, and then he picks them all up out of fun. When you think about that's 2 CGI characters talking to each other and interacting, shows how far stuff's coming, doesn't it?
It's unbelievable.
This is what we're going to talk about with you guys. How far is it? How far's too far with this stuff? You know, we're talking about resurrecting people who might be dead and things now. You know. I mean, Carrie Fisher. They're going to have a series with Carrie Fisher in it soon. Princess Leia. They've cleared it.
This is your pipe dream. I don't believe they're going to do that. I think it would be disrespectful.
Well, Chris wants John Candy.
No, this is,
ask Princess Leia
in everything. Yeah.
You know what we should do? We should make him pick. You can only bring one back.
This is the question that I was going to ask. This is a question: who would you bring back to make a film? Who would you bring back to bring somebody back CGI? This goes out
that's
to
a
the
good one.
as well, if anybody wants to comment on there.
I bring back somebody who broke my heart when I learned that they died. I'd probably bring back Robin Williams for anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Just anybody that affected me that, but like I fucking miss that guy not being on this planet.
What film would you make with Robin Williams? If you could make
anything.
Any age. I
mean, maybe not anything. It'd be really good if he did something cool. He didn't come back to do fucking Father's Day or that bloody RV movie. Yeah, if he came back and did something good.
A sequel to Bicentennial Man.
Yeah. Since we're on the Quantum Leap thing, bring back Mark.
Yes.
Let's catch up with Mark. Let's see how Mark's doing with Mindy and his little family full of aliens.
That is a good idea. That is a good
idea. could be done. But yeah, it made us think the other day, right? What are the applications of this or the implications of this in the real world? So, for example, you could finish those people like Father Ted. What's he called? The Dermot thingy, the guy who died the day after filming Father Ted.
Oh,
we could effectively do another series of it with him in it. Or there's better examples out there. But I would.
Dermot Morgan.
That's it. Dermot Morgan.
He was brilliant.
You could pretty much. But you'd have to bring them back in the right way. So it would have to be somebody who never wanted to leave in the first place. And the person I thought of was, everybody's talking right now about what's going to happen with Black Panther 2 since Chadwick Boseman died. Now, Chadwick Boseman was into the Marvel thing. He really appreciated it, really loved doing it. He really loved being Black Panther. And I don't think he was ready to say goodbye. And they had a few bits of audio, didn't they, from What If and from something else that he did recently, which they've used. And it makes sense to me if you've got this guy who's come over doing all these deep fakes from Russia or wherever he's from, and he's now working for Disney and he's working for Marvel. I'm sure they'll want to sit, every division of Marvel will want to sit down with this guy now and figure out how they can use what he knows.
Yeah.
So to bring somebody like Chadwick Boseman back, not for the entire film, but if he has to die because the actor died, at least kill him off in a respectful way that makes sense to the story, you know. And they could do that, but I feel that'd be a great way of using this technology, you know, not just to make old farts look young again. Because where do you stop with that?
Unfortunately, I think this is the start of what's going to happen with this technology. I think it's just going to get better and better and better, and we're going to just keep on using it to where you're going to look at movies and the entire actor doesn't even need to be there.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to make things. I mean, depending how cheap the technology is, it's going to make budgets for movies go down as well, because they're going to. I mean, they've already The Mandalorian. It proved that they can use virtual sets and pretty much recreate anything because it fooled everybody watching it. It looked like they were on location every time you watched it, didn't it? You know, the Forest Planet they were on in episode whatever it was, this 6 of this. That'll be all CGI'd, and you think, Jesus Christ, it looks amazing. You know?
Yeah, man. I mean, the other thing, I've been watching that Pam and Tommy. I hope the porn world doesn't get hold of this technology, because all of a sudden you will genuinely have Nicole Kidman in a skin flick. Like, it's her deep faked completely. So let's hope that. Yeah, I think there's going to be some
Freddie Mercury.
Some like litigious shit going on from now on.
So you Robin Williams then, Webb? Is that
I'd go for Robin.
What about Nat and,
See, I'd be really interested to see what else Philip Seymour Hoffman had.
Oh yeah.
He was a fantastic actor.
Yeah, man.
Definitely went too soon.
Who knew he was a junkie though? Who knew?
Well, he'd been clean for years. 20 years he'd been clean. Wow. And then just had a slip.
Jeez.
And I think did the classic thing where people who used to use think they can take what they used to be able to take and just
oh my God, that's horrific. That's a horrific. Build yourself up, mate. Just try a little bit first.
Calm down, Phil.
Dip your finger in.
On your gums. But yeah, I think he'd be an interesting one, because I think he's a brilliant actor. Yeah. What about you? Still not Rich Gaines?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh my God, I would like to see.
You bump off Danny DeVito and then bring him back.
then bring him back.
He's still alive, but let's go.
I would have loved to have seen what Charlie Chaplin can do with everything we have today.
Yeah, man. Actually, that's not a bad shout at all. Well, since we're talking one sec,
because there's unfinished scripts and things, isn't there, knocking about for a lot of stuff, you know. Okay,
can I just give you an idea? Since you've mentioned Danny DeVito, right? How about this for some deep fake trickery? I want to see a version of Twins where the roles are reversed, and Danny DeVito's got Arnold Schwarzenegger's body and Danny DeVito's face, and Arnie's the pot-bellied dwarf guy.
Big Seymour, Bruce Lee, and Brandon.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
Martin, Steve McQueen, Robin Williams, Bruce Lee,
The funny thing is, they brought back Steve McQueen, I believe, for a car commercial.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Sophie Loren as well for what's it with chocolate advert, wasn't it? Jesus Christ.
First of all, when we're making the rules up about what we can and what we can't do with this. No porn and no fucking adverts. Don't use it to sell me your Coca-Cola. I know where it is. It's in the shops. I don't need you to bastardize somebody's memory just to fucking sell a product. Leave them alone.
So how far do you think is, for all you, how far is too far?
I mean,
well, I'm not really here. I'm a deep fake as we speak. So you tell me, Gary.
Yeah.
I mean,
we've got Webb on hologram.
It's in the eyes. It's my dead eyes.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they've already gone too far with it. Maybe they shouldn't be.
I think when you start getting to the point where you don't actually need an actor, that's what it's going to get to, isn't it?
Here's another one. I don't know if you know this, but Mark Hamill's voice in that last episode was digitally done as well.
Yes, of course it was.
I mean,
he did.
Because I listened to it and I thought, oh wow, whoever's doing that voice is good.
And then I saw at the end it was Mark Hamill. I figured, well, they must have de-aged his voice and taken all the.
No, it was a computer-generated voice. Now you're like, Jesus Christ, wow.
What? So the voice wasn't real.
The voice, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. The voice wasn't real. They fed basically some Mark Hamill clips in the computer, and it went, no problem. There's a full script.
Now, surely as an actor, that stings a bit, right? That nobody wants you in the fucking movies anymore because you got old or Luke Skywalker, whatever. So they don't bother with you anymore. And then when they do finally put you in a movie, you don't even have to get off your ass to do anything. They're going to digitize your voice, digitize your face. What? So he's just sat there and collected a big fat fucking paycheck for doing nothing.
At this point, I'm sure that's what he did.
It's more of a performance than Bruce Willis is doing lately.
Yeah, I suppose.
I watched a video literally on Red Letter Media before this on YouTube, and they're talking about all these Bruce Willis films that come out, and they're all basically phoning them all in. They might as well. They'll get more performance out of a digital Bruce Willis than they will out of a real one. Honestly, it's crazy.
Yeah, but Bruce Willis started phoning it in like 20 fucking years ago.
Yeah, he did.
People like 5 years to notice that he wasn't trying anymore.
Yeah.
And now it's like he takes pride in it. He's become the new Nick Cage, hasn't he? Like Nick Cage's career's gone back up. He's making all these crazy, independent, awesome, weird little films. And Bruce Willis has started to make all them shits you've seen a million times, Transporters and,
Harry Potter and...
He was awesome in Harry Potter. Come on.
That was so good. I think
I'll tell you what they could do. Here's one for you. What about this then? If they extend the old Harry Potter films and CGI the missing bits with the kids at them ages, there you go.
But then
you're always on about the missed stuff out of the films, aren't you?
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, I reckon they could go back now and take any film and just insert digital scenes into that movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it might not always look great. You'd need the right people doing it. But hey, Lummy, who were you bringing back, man? Who would you bring back?
John Candy next.
Anybody else? Is that it?
I'd like what Gary says. I'd like to see a bit of the old like Charlie Chaplin things and stuff like that. That'd be interesting.
Laurel and Hardy. Can you imagine them these days?
Laurel and Hardy had some stuff.
Yeah,
Laurel and Hardy had some films I didn't make.
I thought you might go a bit more Angleterre and choose the Eric and Ernie. Get them in a new movie. But you couldn't do that because that's in the eyes. Do you know what I mean? You need that twinkle in your eyes to be.
If I were allowed two people, I'd do it. I'll tell you why. What I'd do. One of the disappointments for me with Morecambe Wise is they didn't make that many films. They only made 3 and then a TV movie, and they made them quite early on for rank, and they never really got a big shot at the film. And I think that'd be good, but again, would you want it? Because like you say, it'd have to be good.
Very niche.
This is it, right? This is that. It's that careful what you wish for thing, and that has been blown out of the water now because we can do it. We're not considering whether we should do it. We can do it.
It's getting very Jeff Goldblum, isn't it?
Jeff Goldblum, yeah.
We're not considering whether we should.
You didn't. You packaged it and you processed it.
Nature.
Are you telling me who I would have picked? See, I would have picked Victoria Wood as well.
Yeah, man. Bring it on.
Love to see Victoria Wood come back, but I don't think I'd want to see her come back like that. No. An absolute legend, icon. Incredible.
Exactly. There's some people that like the presence needs to be felt in the room or in the show, doesn't it?
What about somebody like John Belushi?
John
Yeah,
Belushi was
no.
one of the ones on my I was thinking about it list, but
Yeah.
I watched a program about how he wasn't particularly great
Dude.
person.
I'm not a massive fan of John Belushi. He sounds like a fucking arsehole.
Yeah, he wasn't a great guy.
Yeah, and he wasn't that funny, man. He wasn't. I saw Blues Brothers. I saw Animal House. He was fucking annoying in Animal House. I wanted to punch him. So yeah, and John Candy all the way. Harold Ramis all the way. In fact, they did
Yeah.
that in Ghostbusters, and that works really well
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they used the ghosty vibes.
Yeah.
Because the
That
bags.
that I think is far enough for sure.
Mm.
Yeah.
But they'll keep
Chris
going
Farley.
further now. They're going to keep going with all this, and it's going to get to
Yeah.
the point where
I tell
Yeah.
you what they could do if they're digitizing voices, Lummy. I'm going to make a suggestion. Let's digitize some Jim Henson and Frank Oz and get the fucking Muppets back alive again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of these wannabes and posers.
I mean, the Kermit's voice now is just.
Oh man, it's like his
So
voice.
far from Kermit. Yeah. So far from Kermit.
His voice broke. It's like,
He's
all right.
been smoking 20 a day. He's,
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
all right,
He's been smoking
Biggie.
for
Do you know what I
20
mean?
years.
Yeah.
Oh,
Biggie finally broke him. He's on the
Yep.
booze.
You're
Yeah.
right though. If they can digitalize voices now and do all that business, they could do it. They could go
yeah.
feed Jim Henson into machine his voice, and away we go.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something I think I want. It'd be nice, I guess, but yeah, I think you're right when we're saying we're entering this, like, should we not think about what we're doing first?
Yeah.
Mark Hamill's still alive, and he's not 21 anymore, so they're going to have to do something if they want that
He
version.
doesn't look at all like 21 anymore.
No, he doesn't, does he? He's got a big grey beard and a belly and everything, and, you know.
He's like Santa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's pretty warty
So-
too. He's got pretty warty as he's got older.
Yeah. So what do you think, right? So this Boba Fett series, then it finishes next week, last episode. What do you think we're going to see?
Danny
Ewoks.
DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
Ewoks.
I reckon.
Yeah.
Oh, Lummy's got a good one. Lummy's
got a
got
theory.
Tell him, and it's so obvious when you said it. I was like, oh yeah.
I've got
So, Nat, we should probably explain. At the end of the episode, in the true fashion of the Jedi, Luke gives
Oh,
Baby Yoda a fucking ultimatum. I
Oh,
don't
what a
understand.
dick.
That is not a Jedi move. Like, you can do this, but you can't do that. So he gives him a choice. He says, you can take the gift that Mandalorian brought for you of the armor, and then you have to go live with him, or you can take the Yoda's lightsaber and learn to be a Jedi with me. And then it
Oof.
ends. Which choice is he going to make? Now, I
Oof.
thought, I know which choice I'd make. I'd be a Jedi all the way.
Oh, yeah.
But
Of course.
it's not that show, is it? It's
No.
the Mandalorian. So, Lummy had this. Tell him about your little noticings.
So the ship that he gets, is this what you're on about?
Yeah, yeah.
So the ship that he gets in that episode, I don't know where the picture's gone now. I think I've lost it. It's actually got a
Actually,
dome on the back.
yeah, I'm going to say, but show him the picture and see if they can spot it, but you've said it now. Yeah,
Can't
it's,
find it now. Anyway, I think I've got rid of the picture. But it's got a little dome on the back of it. And you think, why would that dome be on the ship? The one that you said about R2 looking like you were inside it. It's clearly
because
got a
when
place.
when you've got a droid in the back of the ship, they don't breathe, so you don't need a glass parapet over their head, do you? You don't need anything covering them.
Mm.
So Lummy spotted that they conveniently put a little baby carrier on the back of Mando's fucking ship. So I think you're right, Lummy. I've been thinking about it more and more. Like, it seems pretty obvious.
Now I don't know if they're going to do it in this next episode or they're going to wait till Mandalorian Series 3 maybe, because they've got this big showdown, haven't they, in this next episode supposedly?
Yeah, they've just got to try. They've got a lot of work to do to make us give a shit about this last episode. Because if I put it on and Luke and Grogu aren't in it,
well,
I'm like,
the last bit as well of that episode, they had this character. I grabbed this earlier off of. So you've got
yeah.
This was right
Who
at
is
the end.
that?
This guy, so he's
Slenderman.
called Cad Bane. He's a bounty hunter. And he pops up at the end of the episode saying he's looking for Boba Fett and they're going to have a big battle.
Never
Who's
seen
he?
this
He's
character
pretty.
before. Yeah, I've never seen this character before, Nat. But when he stepped in, I was like, wow, yeah, more of this guy, please. He's pretty fucking cool. He's like the Clint Eastwood of space.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a pretty cool character.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your predictions for this next episode? What's
Ewoks, I told you. Ewoks are going to come
Yeah.
and they're going to kick the shit out of Clint Eastwood guy and steal his hat. And then it's going to dance around like stupid Ewoks with a hat on. It's my prediction.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
How are they going to get you to watch the next series of this? This is what I'm getting to.
Yeah. So basically,
What?
They're gonna pay me. That's how they're gonna get it.
Put me in it. Yeah, I'm in it.
Check in the
free
mail.
for Disney Plus if you watch the next series. There you go. I mean, I think we're going full CGI Han Solo at the end of it.
I heard something about that.
Yeah.
See, this
I
is the problem.
reckon one scene at the end after they've had the big battle at the end. I reckon he walks into a cantina and Anne and Chewie are sat there and he goes, "We've got something to talk about," something like that.
Right, me and Lummy have already talked about this, but I think this is the problem with giving everybody what you think they want. And so far, that this is all the show has done. Right, okay, here's some Jabba the Hutts. Have a look at these guys. Here's more Boba Fett. You wanted to see him. Here he is. By the end of this show, in the last episode, what I noticed that was kind of funny about it was Boba Fett literally ends up where he was when he fucking started in Empire, standing off to the side of the more interesting character. He literally does nothing. He's just standing there, and it's kind of like, is that what the conclusion is? They thought that people wanted to see more Boba Fett, but when they explored it, they've realized they've got nothing to say with this guy. So they're just throwing everything else in the kitchen sink at you. And the trouble is with that is then people get carried away. It's like, well, that's not enough. I want Han now. I want Chewie. I want Leia. And I want them all in every scene. And I want it right now. And I don't think we're going to get that quite. I'm not saying we're never going to get it. I think that for this show to make sense, they have to make this episode a finale to the Boba Fett storyline for this series. They have to bring it back to Boba Fett.
But
otherwise,
it's so odd that episode 5 out of a 7-episode series as well went where it went. They could have waited to do that.
Yeah,
it's so odd. It is really odd.
I almost felt like they don't know what they're doing with Mandalorian season 3, so they're not going to do it. They're just going to combine the two shows. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's weird,
because it felt like they had taken that. That could have been the first episode of Mandalorian series 1, series 3. That could have been the full episode, and they could have thrown it in.
I'll tell you what I thought was really good, by the way. It just popped in my head that they haven't changed Grogu's voice. At some point, I expected him to open his mouth and start talking like Yoda. Yeah, you know what I mean? And start putting out and that would have been horrific.
Yeah.
But yeah, as for where it's going, Lummy, I personally feel they need to wrap this up, whether you give a shit or not. They're not bothered. It's the 7th episode. They've got to wrap this storyline up and put Boba Fett in a position where there's something to go on to give him another series. Otherwise, it's a one series, isn't it? The done and dusted.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And then Mandalorian.
Maybe after this, though, maybe they've thought that anyway. Maybe they've thought, oh no, we've got to end it.
Maybe they just didn't have as much as they thought they wanted to say about Boba Fett. They're just like, you've asked for it for all these years, but when you dig into it, he's an arsehole. He's not a hero. He's a fucking arsehole. Yeah, and he became a hero now that he's thought about. Now that he nearly got digested by a monster and he's helped the occasional person out, he's a good guy, but he's not a good guy. He's a fucking mercenary. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a weird one. Conflicted character. He was never meant to be famous. He was never meant to be that much of a big deal.
In the last episode, I'd like
to see him reading.
What's he reading? Yeah.
Right, here's the end then. Here's the end for you, Big T. It pans back up to Jabba's throne, right? And there's a bearded Boba Fett. It's a really long beard, old and grey. And he closes a book. And he goes, "That was my story."
Maybe, but the other thing is he's still completely bald on the head. He's got a giant beard and perfect white Hollywood teeth for no fucking reason. And that threw me off so many times. Like, why has this space guy got amazing teeth that you could just see from space?
Space dentists are good.
Yeah, you can get some really good deals at a space dentist. Webby, everybody knows that. Yeah,
if you go private.
Yeah.
No, I reckon the end of the show is.
Don't say about dentist. Got to be another series about a dentist, a space dentist. There'll be
space dentist.
Yeah. At first episode, Darth Vader comes in and lifts his arm and he's like, "Oh, Cooper." I think to bring it back to the book of Boba Fett, this show ends with Boba Fett in a showdown in a library, killing everyone by throwing books at them in different ways. Yeah. Chopping their heads off with really sharp.
Which section? Sci-fi section.
Giving people paper cuts. You're a fucker.
Or he picks up a book, opens it, and it says "a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away," and the whole series is just meta. You're like, what?
Yep. Yeah. Speaking of books, the weird thing about this title is there's famously no paper in space in Star Wars land. Those 5 books of the Jedi that Rey's looking for in Rise of the Skywalker that Luke's got on his shelf in this show, by the way, in the background of the temple, you see the books on the wall. They're like the only books in the universe because paper's really short in supply. So Book of Boba Fett's probably not even the best title for it, is it?
The pamphlet of Boba
The
Fett.
Kindle edition
the
of
Kindle.
Boba Fett.
Yeah, the email.
E-reader.
The blog of Boba Fett.
Vlog. I think he'd do a vlog. With those
Vlog,
teeth, he'd do a vlog. It wouldn't be a blog.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, he's so proud of it.
Hi, guys.
He's so proud of those teeth. In the next series, he just gets an arc welder and cuts a big hole out of his mask so you can see his teeth all the time.
Yeah.
Don't mask with a big hole for his teeth.
Well, yeah, there's some good stuff in it. This show, there's some really odd stuff as well, and some.
I mean, they're
weird...
fucking reaching. Let's face it, they are reaching.
Yeah, at this
big
point.
time. But
nobody
did
really
hit
wanted this, apart from like some.
They did hit a really, really rich vein of things that were interesting for the past 2 episodes. But when you analyse it in terms of story, there's really not a hell of a lot going on. And you're right, Lummy. There is no Mandalorian if he's got no Grogu to look after. It's going to be shit boring. Have to start again and make up some other shit. And then you're going to be in the same position you are with Mando as you are with Boba now, where you're thinking, well, he's got nothing to say. So you're right. He has to parent this kid. And it's not about him being his biological father, obviously. It's about family. It's about how people can come together from all different walks of life. And there's just love
also,
there.
don't forget, we did see him do a bit of Jedi training as well, didn't we, in that episode? So he's got a few skills now as well to go along with season 3.
Mad skills.
Yeah. With flipping about like a frog, one he jumping around.
That's it. That's how the show ends. Grogu shows up on Tatooine and starts pinging frogs at the fucking bad guys.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know if we'll see him again till Mando 3 now. I reckon, because you're not going to get Luke fly down in his X-wing and drop him off, or maybe he will. I don't know.
Maybe they've got custody. Maybe Luke has him some weekends.
Do you know what? They've already got. They've already got a digital Millennium Falcon. They've already made it for the prequel, the sequel. So I reckon maybe the Falcon will fly in, land, and Luke will walk down with Grogu. And
you want that. You want that. That's what you want.
Bless your little heart, Lummy.
Look at his face.
No.
I want so hopeful.
Wait, the reason I think it'll be Solo in the canteen is because it's a series about bounty hunters.
Is it?
And
He wants it. Look at him.
It's not about. All right, it's not because it's about an ex-bounty hunter who's now the boss. So it's more Sopranos. It's more like Sopranos in space is what they're aiming for, but nobody gives a shit.
They should just do that. They should just put the Sopranos in space.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, you're fucking talking to me.
They need to get Obi-Wan Kenobi off Tatooine as well for this next series because I can't see any more Tatooine.
Dude, at this point, it may as well be Tatooine Wars, you know what I mean? Because everything's set on Tatooine, and it's a big dusty planet that nobody, until recently, allegedly, nobody spotted that ginormous fucking city that they all hang out at in this place.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a bit in this last episode where I think is it Cobb Vanth, that guy, the bounty hunter, the what's he called? The mercenary, not a mercenary, the cop, the sheriff guy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
There's a bit where he says something about going to Mos Eisley. He's like, "Oh no, we don't want to go there. It's a bit of a shithole. Let's go." I'm paraphrasing that. He didn't say shithole.
Did say shithole. That's what you'd say if you were going to like Beeston. Let's not go Beeston. It's a shithole.
He said shitbox. That's what it says. It's a shitbox.
Space shitbox.
So apart from a lack of theories, I'm going with Lummy's theory. I think it's all about Grogu, and I think it'd be pretty badass if he did show up and start throwing frogs at people.
Yeah, it would. It'd be all right. It'd be all right. It would be all right. You know. So, what's your predictions then? Come on. What's your prediction for the ending of the episode or next week? What's going to happen? Come on, Webb. What have you got?
In terms of the episode, boring ass battle between the people you'd rather not be watching. Maybe some scenes with Grogu making his decision and a tiny bit of Luke before he leaves the planet. He's probably going to have to drop him off. He's not going to make his own way. He's only a kid. How's he going to get to fucking Tatooine on his own? Somebody's going to have to give him a lift.
So you think that's going to be in this episode? Or they're going
Yeah, I think Luke's going to have to soccer mom it to Tatooine, drop him off. I'm leaving him with you.
Yeah.
Can't do anything with him. This kid is just...
It's out of control. My prediction is going to be it's a courtroom drama set just with a custody battle. It's going to be Luke on one side. It's going to be what's his face on the other. Like it's going to get upsetting.
Kramer versus Kramer job.
Kramer versus Kramer, but like in Tatooine. Yeah.
Now with all this deep fakery as well, right? What it kind of raises the interest that between Ghostbusters Afterlife, the Harold Ramis effect, yeah, and between this new deep fake, what does that do to Force ghosts? You could literally have Alec Guinness in this fucking show now as a Force ghost.
Yeah.
I genuinely I was going to ask you that, whether you thought which version of Obi-Wan Kenobi would appear. Do you think it would be Alec Guinness?
Well, it should be.
Because they can do it.
In this timeline, it should be because it's going back to that thing. One of the
some fans once said, didn't they? Oh, they could have Ewan McGregor in as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like that makes no sense.
Hang on a minute, yeah, okay. So this is the thing that confuses the Star Wars world a bit, Nat, right? Is that when you die as a Jedi, if you're lucky, you become a Force ghost, and you stay as that physical manifestation of what you looked like when you died. For some crazy reason, in one of the special editions they did a few years back, they decided to make Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader's Force ghost, instead of the crusty old man he was when he died, they turned him into fucking Anakin Skywalker from the prequels. So he's young. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Why would a ghost de-age itself?
They said it was when he turned from the...
I understand, that's bullshit. He turned
but the thing is, what you do...
He turned back to the good on his deathbed when he died. He said, I'm fucking sorry, guys. My bad.
If that's
a direct quote.
If that's how it works as well, if you wanted to be like, your handsome devil Force from back in the day, when you got to the point where you thought, I look pretty good now, I'm never going to look this good again, you go around, I'm going to turn the dark side. Go right.
I'm going to be a beautiful ghost forever.
Yeah.
I'm going to make Nat buy me from a shop in York.
It'd be better in the Return of the Jedi, the new version, if Obi-Wan had turned to Anakin and gone, what the fuck?
What my point is, though, if you were going to bring Alec, it would have to be Alec Guinness back when you brought him back.
Have to.
Because you've already showed a precedent that when you see a Force ghost, it's Alec Guinness.
Yeah.
My prediction is I'll be disappointed. Yeah.
Yeah,
my prediction is pretty similar.
I mean,
I did have one other thought. There's one other mystery player in here that the name has been passed about back and forth. As much as I'd love to grant Lummy's wish list, I reckon if we see anybody else appear in this show, a good contender might be Mace Windu. And that could come in the form of a flashback, because one of the other things you see in the show, Nat, is when Luke is doing a bit of Jedi mind trick on Baby Yoda's brain so he can look at his memories to see what happened and how he got here, they show you a flashback right back to the prequels where Baby Yoda, Grogu, is sitting there as the fucking clone troopers come in and attack everybody and they're killing Jedis left, right, and center. Now, what was missing from it was I was expecting either Anakin to come storming out and Grogu sees him eye to eye and is like, holy shit, he's scary. Yeah. Or Mace Windu shows up and he fucking saves the Baby Yoda and he buggers off. So you might not see him these days. So if they can't, nobody can decide if Mace Windu's dead because they've seen Jedis fall from a height out of windows. Emperor Palpatine shoots him out the window and he flies up into the distance. You don't see him die. You don't see him get chopped up. And you've seen people survive a fall from height as Jedis. So there's a theory that Mace Windu never died. And they could bring him back.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
The only thing
that would be cool.
He sent Mace Windu out that window before they attacked all the stuff.
Yeah, okay, but all right. Let's assume Mace Windu survives the drop, goes down to the temple, says to say to the guys, God, that really hurt. I've just fallen out of a window. I've been thrown out of a window, and everybody's dead. And he's probably going to go, I better get off this planet. All the Jedis are dead. They're going to come and get me next. But the good thing about it is, whether it's deliberate or not, they have left that out of the story. You don't know what happened to him. So if they've got any brains, they could easily bring him back and then just pop us off with a load of excuses and we'd all go, yeah, right, okay.
Yeah.
I know Sam Jackson has said that he really wants to return. I don't think Mace Windu is dead. So
No,
Yeah,
it
I
won't be.
think
I mean,
when you've
one
got an
thing's
actor saying that, I think there's a
Yeah.
conversation going on about it.
Also, as well,
and he,
he's on
and
the,
he
he's
asked
on the
George
Disney-
Lucas. He asked George Lucas too. He said, "Am I alive?" And George said, "You could be alive."
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, anybody could be now. I mean, Emperor came back for God's sake in number 9. You know, that
Yeah,
that's just
yeah.
to reset the entire.
Yeah.
It's like, well, he were dead. You know, how did he sort that out? And they're like, oh, it was a clone. You're like, no, it give over.
You know, I've always loved that. I know it's an old anecdote, but I've always loved how Sam Jackson got to pick the color of his own fucking lightsaber, and he was just like, "Yeah, purple, please." And they were like, "Can we do purple? Yeah, I'll give him a purple." He's the only one with a purple
Samuel L.
lightsaber.
Jackson, of course, he got to show.
What they
He
didn't
could do
tell
what
you
he
is he had
wants.
somebody up against the wall while he was saying it.
Yeah,
Like, all
Yeah.
right,
do what he wants.
I'll do it. But yeah, I think you're right. I think he'll come back because also Samuel Jackson's on the Disney Plus payroll because he's in that new series. So
I mean, the other thing is,
they always
Lummy,
use the same people who they've got.
the other thing is, if it isn't now, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen in Obi-Wan. Because imagine one day Obi-Wan's in a bar having a drink and he turns around, some old fart's talking to him with a big white beard, and he turns around and it's old ass Mace Windu who's grown out his afro and got a big grey beard.
I reckon it's coming. I reckon it's all coming. I reckon
Yeah.
Darth Maul will be in the Obi-Wan series as well.
Oh yeah, I
That's
reckon so.
That's a guarantee because they've already had him show up in that Solo movie. Didn't
But
they?
that's not a bad shout because in the canon, in the Clone Wars cartoon, Obi-Wan kills the ass off Darth Maul.
Just
Once
because
Darth Maul-
just kill him. Just kills the
Kills
ass
the
off
ass
him.
off.
talking about
Right,
surviving
just the
fans,
ass.
right? Yeah, just the ass. So,
Right.
but talking about surviving
We've
fans,
all been there.
Ass Maul.
Darth Maul literally gets chopped in half and drops down a fucking hole in Star Wars Episode 1.
It's
What
pretty
is that?
And he
decisive.
comes back. Yeah, and he comes back with little robot spider legs. Yeah.
Ew.
They got the bottom half of me, but they didn't get the top half.
Yeah.
And then Obi-Wan, and he chases Obi-Wan out because he's pissed off with him, chases him
You
to
would be.
Tatooine. They have a big battle, and Obi-Wan kills him.
Yeah.
Stone dead. So, yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be awesome to see. And while we're waiting for that, by the way, Darth Vader's meant to be in Obi-Wan as well. I mean, that's got to be... You have to be
Come on
really
now,
working
that's
hard
cool.
to fuck that up,
Yeah.
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
To mess that
Yeah.
up, you'd have to be doing a really shitty job. You'd have to be doing an Episode 3 level shitty job.
Yeah.
Taking the best moment that people have waited for 30 years in the entire franchise of seeing Darth Vader be created and just shitting it. Just shitting it out and going, yeah, that'll do. Oh, it's awful. Anyway. I don't know.
Webby
Yeah.
really
Star
has
Wars,
strong opinions about Star Wars, Nat.
Say that again, sorry.
Webby really likes Star Wars.
No, I don't think he does. I don't know where you've got that from. He's not mentioned it once.
Right, we've
It's
talked
like
like
assuming Chris likes John Candy.
You know
Chris
what,
can't stand
guys?
John Candy. I don't know where you get it from.
I'll give you some marks for that observation. I know a lot about it because I've been talking to people like Lummy about it for years. But actually, I haven't given a shit about Star Wars for quite some time until The Mandalorian came out. And I thought, well, okay, if you're going to keep making things like this, then yeah, all right, I'm going to watch it. I didn't like the last ones, the last trilogy. I hated Solo. I hated the prequels. Hated them. I fucking hated them. And
Well,
even
they love you.
back when I watched the original trilogy,
Yeah, they told me they love you.
They
It's
love
pretty
you.
embarrassing, actually.
Sorry,
they keep
man.
going on about you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
so-
love you.
I'm kind of love and hate.
They ring me and Gary, and they're like,
Yep.
"Is he talking to me yet?"
Yeah.
It's getting a
Do
bit
you
sad.
know what? I'm with Gary. I just think
Does he still not like us?
the whole thing would be better with Danny DeVito in it.
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
it.
That's the
The whole
closing
thing.
argument of the night.
I
mean,
they should just
and John
have
Candy.
him play Grogu.
Was he
I mean,
never
let's just-
considered for the role of Luke?
No,
I didn't.
he actually plays the Force.
Hey.
Let's
Not any character, just the Force he plays.
let's just have an image up here. Look.
There,
Oh,
look.
There you go.
That's
He's-
coming next
Coming
week,
next
Lummy.
week, Wednesday.
Yeah, next week, buddy.
See you next
Oh
Wednesday.
mate, they're gonna crush you like a
He's
little
my
beetle.
second favourite character from Star Wars. Is Han Solo. Got to say
Wednesday.
it.
Yeah.
You're gonna get that Wednesday. That's
Do you
my
reckon?
prediction. If that's wrong, if my prediction's wrong, I'll quit the show. There you go.
You
No.
say you quit the show
That's
every
how strong
week.
I am. That's how
You
strong I am.
you said the other day, if this juice is too strong and I'm putting enough water in, I'm quitting the show.
If this
said
runs
that.
out before I finish the show, I quit.
Oh, stop threatening. Stop with your threatening.
Threaten everything. Quitting.
Unbelievable.
Threat.
Anyway, should we leave that there? And
think
we've
we
got
should.
a little treat for you guys. Well, I hope it's a treat.
Is it a new microphone that don't
No.
buzz?
I do apologise.
Right. Well,
Two
go
sets of my headphones have just completely destroyed.
Go on.
But so me and Lummy have been writing songs for quite some time.
I'm
I
excited.
forgot about this.
We got a world exclusive premiere.
Shut up.
Should we close out with? Should we close out with this then? Should we say bye and then we'll play it?
Are they love songs?
Well, we don't want to see people's reactions. Are you scared they're going to say it's shit and they're going to hurt your feelings?
Yeah, we'll just go.
Oh, yeah,
right,
that's probably a good point.
So,
Go on, play it.
Say it up, Webb. Say it up. Sorry.
Oh, so this is a song Lummy and I created all about the fact that the finest actor on the planet, Mr. Sean Bean, keeps getting killed off in all his movies.
He does.
So we made a little rap.
So we've been writing some songs, haven't we? We've done a few,
got a few
movie-based songs and then some other ones as well, but we've never had a chance to finish them yet. This was the only one we finished before COVID hit and everything. We've got
lots coming though. I mean, we've got
enough with the chat, guys. Get the song on.
All right, it's coming on. He's sticking around after. Here we go. It'll blank us all so you can't slag it off while it's on.
Busted. 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 Sean Bean, I die in every scene. Wanna see me die? Get me on your screen. Winter is coming, the goose is getting fat. Sean Bean's dead, he's lying on his back. Making a movie, need a death scene. Talk to my agent, ask for Sean Bean. Never got the lead in GoldenEye. Wasn't surprised, James Bond don't die. Sean Bean, are those tears you crying? Sean Bean, I'm too good at dying. Sean Bean, I won't even trying. Steal women's hearts and leave them sighing. Get me in makeup, stick me in a wig. Before the day's over, there'll be graves to dig. Soldier, warrior, renegade, spy, I can play them all, just as long as they die. Give me any script, if I die I'm keen. No one acts deader than a dead Sean Bean. Stab me, shoot me, torture me too. I'm not doing your sequel. Fuck you. So that's why you cry. You just seen me die. No time for goodbye. I'm stone cold dead and in this grave I lie. When the time comes and they bury me deep, and the mornings show up and the women start to weep, my tombstone will read the finest actor ever seen. Here lies the body of a dead Sean Bean. That's the end of Sean Bean's tale. Sean Bean's dead, dead as a doornail. Don't try to best Sean Bean, you'll fail. Check out the complete box set of Sharp available in all good stores on sale.
I mean, I haven't seen that for a while actually.
That made me laugh a couple of times. How did you get your eyes yellow? In that
Yellow.
Yeah, you have yellow eyes.
Yellow.
You're all right, Nat.
I think every time I got myself together, Nathan reappeared and went, Sean Bean! I just lost it again.
So we've got one about the Gremlins, haven't we, Webb? We've got an ET one.
Oh, we've got some treats coming. Yeah.
We've got one that's like a Beatles thing as well about a police.
Constable Brown, yeah. Constable Brown. That's a beauty.
That was very good.
Yeah.
I love that. We've got the one about we've got a papier-mâché wife. That's about a French baker who's got a wife made out of papier-mâché.
Yeah.
So, Chris, what was the name of that beautiful masterpiece again?
It's called Sean Bean Dead on Demand.
I think we should have one that's actually in the Mandalorian season finale next week.
Yeah.
That's how it ends.
That's it.
That's how it ends. Yeah. Sean Bean rocks up, gets killed straight away.
I like that video. No expense spared on the effects,
Oh,
It was
guys.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Real snow in that.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
Real
cool.
snow. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't make that up.
I was CGI'd in that as well. I
Can't
don't know if
fake
you
snow.
noticed. I was
What?
CGI in that. I
Was
was
that
a
you?
year
Or was that
younger.
a deep fake?
Yeah,
Yeah.
year younger me. That it was CGI.
That's amazing.
He de-aged himself.
I
We
like the
grew
way
the
you used
CGI
to.
Webb hair as well. Different colour. Don't know if you
I
know.
like
That
the way
hair.
that you use deep fakery to make yourself look a year younger instead of making yourself look just like Sean Bean. I save some time. So yeah, that's the idea of that is to spur us on to get off our butts now that we're out of COVID and we can finish some of these songs, make some more videos, and make $1 million bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got some. Yeah, we're gonna go to.
Yeah, we got some tasty stuff coming your way. I'm looking forward to an old chestnut Candy Pants.
Oh yeah.
I want to dig out Candy. We've got a song called Candy Pants. It's like a 50s doo-wop kind of song. I really like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look out for them. Right, should we close out the show then? Let's
close it up.
Let's close it up.
Let's
Close up shop after sorting out.
Oh dear.
Gary, have you got anything you'd like to plug? Anything you'd like to tell anybody?
Yes, I would like to tell everyone, thank you so much for having me on again.
Oh, you're more than welcome, man.
Always
more than welcome.
What an angel.
That was lovely.
And I got to tell you that Sean Bean, if you send me it will be my ringtone. Just
go for it, man. Go for it. We're immensely proud. The thing is, Gary, I play a little bit of guitar and I've always sung a little bit, but when it comes to garage band or anything like that, I'm lost. So I'm really proud of the fact that I actually made a song out of a thing, you know, and it was all right. But yeah,
you made a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Tell all your friends, get us some views on YouTube. That might do something. I don't know what. What does it do? That
gets you views.
TikTok it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Get on the interweb.
Weirdly enough, I saw something today. It was quite sweet that a guy had put one of his dad's died, but he used to write songs, and he's put his dad's song on TikTok, and it's taken off like fucking mad.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So people are buying the song now. I thought it was really
That's
touching.
An amazing tribute to your dad.
Yeah, man. I might do. I've got a couple of songs of my dad's. I might do that. He's dead, so I can do what I like.
I was gonna say, don't die with
him. Oh, kids, it's been a pleasure. It's been nice to be back.
Yeah, it's been cool. So, now, have you got anything you'd like to plug?
Just a discount comedy. Check it out on Spotify for the podcast. Come and see us live. We're back up and running with the performances. Go onto YouTube and have a look at our past performances as well on there. Go crazy, live on the edge.
Yeah,
go nuts.
Yeah.
Webb, have you got anything you'd like to share?
More coming soon. I'm probably going to be more back here more regularly, unfortunately for some of you. But yeah, I'm back on the show. Me and Lummy are going to get some more songs. We're going to try and do a song every 2 weeks or so. Maybe premiere some more videos on the show and see what you all think. Yeah. And then we're going to try and do some of it live at some of these comedy gigs.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah. I came up with a bit for that, Lummy. I thought it'd be really funny if I said to you, well, what do you play then?
Don't blow it live.
No, I'm going to blow it because it's probably never going to happen. But I'm going to tell you what my idea was the other day. I'm going to say to you, you're going to say, oh, no, I don't like that chord. And I'm like, well, you don't play guitar. What are you telling me what to do for? You don't even play music. And you'll go, I do. And I'll go, well, what do you play music-wise? And you'll go, jazz. And I'll go, what? You'll go, yeah, I learned all the jazz. I learned it all the jazz. All of it. I learned it.
All of the jazz.
All jazz.
Everything.
Right. Stand corrected. Sorry.
I'm glad you tried that out here in front of all everybody.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to do it on the show, do we? I don't have to do it on the.
Work on it. It's fine. But yeah, check that out anyway when we're live doing songs. That's it though for this week on It's All Geek to Me. Thanks to everybody for joining. Thank you to Still Not Rich Gaines, otherwise known as Gary. Take care. Thanks to
next week my name is going to be Sean Bean. So
yeah, no, but you've got to write it like this, Sean Bean.
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, and big love to Mr. Gittins out there in the wide world doing your thing.
Doing
We
his
hope
best,
you come back soon, and yeah, we'd lovely to see you again.
Been getting rave reviews as Buttons.
Yes, yeah. I thought it was not in Equus, that naked one.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was later. They did that for fun afterwards.
Oh yeah.
We're doing Equus, and I'm playing the horse.
And Richard's playing the stable boy.
Yeah.
Lovely. All right,
Lovely
guys.
stuff. Right. Oh, Loch Ness song. What? Oh,
Do a song about Loch Ness.
Ah, yeah. We were looking. By the way, that is a good idea. If you've got any suggestions that you want to see us write a song about, it'll probably be crap, but we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. We do need some more topics.
Do a song about the fantastic Loch Ness film starring Ted Danson. I'd love to do that.
I'd love to do a song about Jaws, but it's hitting the right idea.
Jaws has been done by Saturday Night Live with Bill Murray. He did the love song on it, love theme from Jaws.
Oh, but could we not do something else? I don't know.
Do something else, yeah.
Yeah.
One Barrel Down. It's the title.
Yeah. I'm in love with a boy called Jaws.
Speaking of Jaws, it's John Williams' birthday tomorrow, you know.
Really?
Oh, wow.
90.
Holy crap. He's still going, man. That's amazing. Yeah.
Can't be killed.
Right, that's it. We're going to close the night out. So let's say bye to everybody. Everybody wave now. We'll see you again next time for another It's All Geek to Me. Thanks for joining us and joining me comments. Big Timor, thank you, Martin. Who else we had? We had everybody. Gary obviously is in the room with us now, Martin.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming. We'll see you again next time. Good night, everybody.
Bye, night. Love you.
Bye.